Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Come on, yes, good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso right here on SABC3. I'm doing it because it's a Friday.
Yay,
Put it
baby.
there, man.
Yeah.
Hello guys. So good to hang out with you guys and so good to hang out with you as well, man. We've made it. The week is here. The World Cup final is just around. Stop it.
You mean the weekend?
You know how many
is
times
here.
I've been Danny Zukoing him the whole morning, but you do look good, man. You look good in the leathers crease, the lightning.
Thank you, man. I can feel it. Yeah, I feel like I stopped into that movie, The Role.
Guys, and you can sing and dance, dude. You can do it.
Well,
Guys, I'm already going through withdrawal. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this World Cup when it's over. I know I've been complaining about the emotional strain that I've been under, but it's going to be tough. It's one last game. France, Croatia. I just don't know, but it's an awesome lineup. I think this is the one now where we want to hear your opinion. We've spoken so much about it. We've all been emotionally invested in it, so we want you guys to phone in today. We're going to get your predictions, get your take on it. We've got an all-star lineup here joining us to assess the situation. 021-430-9881. You can even start phoning now. We'll take your number and we'll connect. Cannot wait, man.
Oh man, it's going to be amazing.
It's gonna be
We're also
massive,
going to be giving our predictions to see what is going ahead. I'm just saying France is still in, which is the team that I went on from the beginning. I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyways, listen, on to some interesting and stellar, can I say stellar guest this morning. Connie Chiume, she's a phenomenal actress, of course, Black Panther actress at that as well. We're going to be talking about that experience. She's going to be joining us, and she's also part of a magical winter wonderland charity fashion show. We'll pick her brain a little bit later on as well.
And then, for your performance, Ben Day and the Concrete Lions are in the house to make you feel like you're in the weekend already.
And then, of course, Franschhoek, they'll be celebrating their French heritage this weekend with the Bastille festival taking place. So I don't know if that's got something to do with the World Cup.
Coincidence? I think not.
We don't know. Well, hey, a lot of excitement coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But let's catch up with your morning headlines. Here's Leanne.
Good morning to you, team, and good morning to you at home. Let's see what's making your news headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa's ambitious plan to attract $100 billion to kickstart the country's struggling economy received a major boost yesterday when Saudi Arabia committed to invest 133 billion rand in the country. This is expected to be invested in the energy and power creation sectors. Ramaphosa met King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud in the port city of Jeddah yesterday. South Africa imports an estimated 47% of its oil from Saudi Arabia. Total trade amounted to more than 56 billion rand in 2017. His tour will end today with a visit to the United Arab Emirates. SA Express announced yesterday that the South African Civil Aviation Authority had reinstated its Aircraft Maintenance Organization certification. A statement said the certification was issued after the airline had undergone a stringent and rigorous process to meet the regulator's high standards. SA Express says its recently appointed board briefed the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, on the progress achieved since the airline was grounded. The airline said Gordhan expressed his satisfaction with progress to return the airline to full operation in the near future. Now moving further abroad, parliamentarians in South Sudan voted yesterday to extend the mandate of President Salva Kiir's government for an extra 3 years in a move that could complicate peace efforts. Now the law will allow Kiir to remain in power until 2021, even as he is engaged in the latest round of regional peace negotiations with his former deputy turned rebel leader, Riek Machar, on ending the 4-year-old civil war. Elections were due to be held this year, but conflict has made the timetable impossible. And then finally, the British government has published its blueprint for relations with the European Union, with Theresa May saying it delivers on the Brexit people voted for. The long-awaited white paper is aimed at ensuring trade cooperation with no hard border for Northern Ireland and global trade deals with the UK. The UK is hoping the EU will back the proposals in the white paper so an exit deal can be struck by the autumn, ahead of the UK's official departure from the EU in March. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Let's get our very first look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham Richards.
So after 62 matches, we are down to the business end of the Soccer World Cup as France will face Croatia in that final on Sunday. While France will be pushing for their second win in 3 finals, Croatia will be making history as they take part in the World Cup final for the very first time. Sunday's final in Moscow kicks off at 5 o'clock. And of course, you can catch every ball live on SABC1, while tomorrow, England battle Belgium at 4 o'clock in that third place playoff. And on to cricket, the Proteas finished day 1 of their first test against Sri Lanka on 4 for the loss of 1, trailing by 283 runs. With Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first, Dimuth Karuratne put on a batting masterclass as he hit 158, helping Sri Lanka to 287 all out. In reply, South Africa lost to Aiden Markram with no runs before the close of play. Day 2 from that first test continues today at the Gale International Stadium. And on to rugby, the final round of the Super Rugby group stages takes place this weekend with 3 South African teams in action. Despite sitting outside the qualification place, the Sharks can still move into that knockout round if they beat the Jaguares tomorrow and if the Highlanders do them a favour by convincingly beating the Rebels as well. Some other fixtures to look out for: the already qualified Lions take on the eliminated Bulls at Ellis Park in a local derby showdown. Then on to tennis. Angelique Kerber and Serena Williams will battle it out for this year's Wimbledon title tomorrow after both players secured comfortable semi-final victories yesterday. Up first, 11th seed Kerber had no problems as she downed Yelena Ostapenko in straight sets, while Williams saw out a pretty easy 6-2, 6-4 win in the end over Julia Gorges. In today's men's semi-finals, South Africa's Kevin Anderson will take on John Isner, while Novak Djokovic will go head-to-head with his old foe Rafa Nadal. And of course, playing in the doubles final tomorrow, we've got to send a massive vote of confidence for our Raven Klaasen playing alongside Michael Venus in those doubles finals. So a good weekend for South African sport. We're going to chat World Cup throughout the show, so stay tuned.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
So just after 6 o'clock, let's quickly take our first look at your weather and your temperatures going into your Friday morning. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect some showers and scattered showers and cool temperatures to kick off your Friday, so dress warmly. Let me run you through. Polokwane starting off on 5 minimum, reaching a high of 21 degrees. Mbombela 9.26, Pretoria 7 and a high of 19. Johannesburg 6.17, Mahikeng 9.22. Klerksdorp on 8 minimum, your maximum 20. Kimberley 3 and a high of 19 degrees with some scattered showers expected. Some scattered showers for Bloemfontein as well, starting off on a cool 4, but warming up to 20. Richards Bay on 15, reaching a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg 12.27. Durban 17 and also a maximum 27. Mthatha can expect some rain for your Friday, 8 minimum, maximum 23. Also rain in East London, 10.17. Cradock 1 minimum this morning, staying cool with the maximum 13. Port Elizabeth 9 a minimum with the maximum 16 and some rain expected. George 8.17. Sutherland -2 this morning, nice and cold and staying cold with a maximum of only 6 degrees. Cape Town can still expect some scattered showers going into your Friday, 7 minimum reaching a high of 14. Worcester at 4 this morning and a maximum of 11 degrees, also with some rain expected. Springbok 2 minimum with a maximum 11 and Uppington around 0 this morning, staying cool with a maximum 16 degrees and also a couple of scattered showers around on your Friday. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the first bulletin this morning. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of your Feel Good Friday. I'm back just after 6:30 with another weather update.
Well, I'm not sure if you're superstitious or not, but today is Friday the 13th, in case you didn't know that. But we live in a world that is constantly changing. Life is getting faster by the day. So we're going to put on the brakes and welcome today, the 13th of July, as we take a look at what happened in history on this day.
And of course, we go back to 1923 first, where the famous and now iconic, I think, Hollywood sign was erected in the Hollywood Hills. I've actually seen it, it's so awesome. Originally read Hollywood Land, but the last 4 letters were dropped after a renovation that came a little bit later in 1949. Ta-da.
It's on my bucket list to go hike there. So Hollywood
awesome,
Hills,
man.
yes, there we go. And then also on this day in 1985, the Live Aid concert for African famine took place simultaneously in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania and London and raised triple the expected amount. How incredible.
I think the world could do with another one of those right now. And of course, we had to round it off with the World Cup fact. In fact, on this day, the World Cup in 2014 saw its final, and Mario Götze, of course, scoring an extra time win goal, allowing Germany to beat Argentina 1-0 in Rio in Brazil.
And then now they didn't even make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go. That was our bite-sized dose of history. Go out, make one for the books.
All right, well, your Friday is officially underway. We're going to be taking a very quick ad break, and man, is it going to be an exciting one. We're gearing up for the FIFA World Cup 2018 final, France against Croatia. Who could have seen that one coming? But we want you to get involved. Call us 021-430-9881. We want to talk to you, want to chat to you, want to pick your brain a little bit. What's your score prediction? It's going to be phenomenal.
Listen,
Get ready.
I'm feeling it's going to be a Croatia victory.
No,
I'm just
don't-
saying.
no,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
sorry.
Come on, underdogs, little guy, we love them. And then we need to rewind everything that happened this week on Expresso with our rewind game. All that and more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Go Croatia!
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to head to our first social media post of the morning. Graham looking a little bit undecided. Why? Because we're looking at a France-Croatia final of the FIFA World Cup this Sunday. We want to know from you, what is your score prediction for the game? Let's head down to Gumbi, who says Croatia 1, France 0. Morning family from Soweto. Caroline says good morning. Croatia 2, France 1. Let's see. Power says says, morning fam, France is taking it 2-1. Sunny B says, France 2-0, Kuzubalit. And then Mark says, Croatia 2, France 1. And then I like this one, being a little spicy here. Those young footballers from Thailand have been offered a trip to Old Trafford to watch United play. Don't you think they've suffered enough? Wow, guys, too soon. That's all I'm going to say. Thankfully, all's well that ends well. So let us know, what is your score prediction for this Sunday's final between Croatia and France?
It's game on, so I should have warned you, Gordy. Sorry, man. That's probably the second last time I'm going to be allowed to blow this whistle, so I want to savor it. Gordon Eggerson, Ashfaq Mohammed, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast talking about World Cup. 69 matches done and dusted. We're down to our final. I started going through withdrawal last night, not being able to watch a football game. I don't know what I'm going to do once this is done and dusted. But I'm going to ask both of you, and we love to hear from you guys. If you've got your predictions, please give us a shout, 021-430-9881. Who is going to take this final, Croatia, France, and why? And how do you feel about this crazy World Cup? I'm going to start with both of you. This has been the most bizarre, but in a weird way, rewarding World Cup. One for the underdogs, one for the star players to shine and not shine. Gordon, how are you feeling about World Cup Russia 2018?
Well, I certainly think it's been a different type of a World Cup. You know, it's been very, very surprising, and so many good things happening. So many, you know, the expectations are so high with so many players. You know, with the certain players like Ronaldo and Messi, the expectations were so high on these players, and all of a sudden they were carrying their teams really. They weren't good enough, and all of a sudden players come out from nowhere and they're shining. You know, like Mbappe, unbelievably quick, strong, playing brilliantly. You know, so there's been a lot of surprises and very indifferent.
The sports managers must have been loving this one. Ash, how do you put this in perspective? Have you been able to call one match throughout this entire
I'm telling you, I did a daily column on IL Sport, our website, and I've been getting it a totally wrong prediction. Because you look at it scientifically, emotionally, and you just can't call these games. Just for Croatia now against England, you would have thought they didn't have the legs to play another extra time, but yet they pulled through. So it's just so crazy, you can't predict this game.
Gord, do they have the legs to go the distance? They've played more football in this World Cup than any other team. I know mentally that maybe gives them a fortitude, shows a kind of strength and depth there. But can they beat this French side with the pace, the talent, the options available to Deschamps?
Look, I certainly believe that the two teams that are in the final deserve to be there. I think that Croatia, they've had a tough battle. They've been in two penalty shootouts. Their goalkeeper, Subacek, has been unbelievably...
one of the stars.
He's been one of the stars without a doubt, you know. And it built so much character, it built so much team spirit, you know, when you go and win on a penalty shootout, because they sometimes can become lotteries, but they were very clinical.
They earned those penalty wins,
They've earned them totally, and they've got so many really good players, you know. But of course, the Barcelona and Real Madrid stars, they're the two players in the middle of the park, Rakitic and Modric. If he gets into the game and he starts dictating things, it'll be very difficult for France. Although France are very, very strong going forward, you know. So I think they possibly could do it. They could. I mean, it's a World Cup final.
Yeah, so I know. I'm trying not to predict because my head is telling me one thing, my heart is telling me one thing. When we look at the contrast in styles, and I think this is where Deschamps has been so lucky in the fact that he's got a team that can counter-attack because of the likes of Pogba, now playing very much a midfield, free-roaming kind of thing. How do you think the midfield battle is going to play out? Obviously, Griezmann is just superb, but we've got Modric driving the Croatian team. Where do you think the key passage of play in that field is going to be? Up front, midfield, defense?
Yeah, I think with Croatia, everybody knows about how great Modric is, but Ivan Perisic, he's the guy to watch. You know,
How do you feel? I mean, the world sits on the fence when it comes to Pogba. I think we're always expecting him to score goals. Deschamps said he's the engine room. He's been the hardest working player on that field. Do you think he is worth 105 million for Man United, for France, for anyone? Or is he that? Is he that player?
I think he's getting a lot of stick at the moment, you know, because the way he plays at Manchester United. You know, Mourinho wants him to play from big box to big box. I think, he's got a bit more of a freer role. He's trying to show that what he's really got, you know. And I think he's playing with a little bit more freedom at the moment. You know, with Man United, he wants to go big box. Mourinho likes to get behind and defend a lot, you know, and you can see the flair of the France. the French side, how they go forward and express themselves. And I think he's allowed to do that. And he's people are thinking about him play for Manchester United and watching him play for France. And it's like two different players.
I was going to say, it's a star. I mean, this whole World Cup has got us a little bit schizophrenic, to be quite honest. I thought Stevie G had made it into the Croatian outfit there. But it's we're going to continue chatting about this. We'd love to hear your predictions, if you are brave enough to make a prediction at these stages. But it really has been a thrilling World Cup. And I think I have to agree with Gordon. Whether you like them or not, the two teams in this final have earned the right to be there.
Well, what a weekend awaits us. The World Cup finals are here. Croatia versus Le Bleu Français. I'm sure you can already tell who my favorite team is. What do you guys think? What are
Croatia.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't hear me say loud and clear, Le Bleu.
Le Bleu.
I heard you said Le Bleu, but I said Croatia.
What are your score predictions for the
I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1 to Croatia.
Yes.
Do you know who might be scoring those goals?
Mario.
Okay, all right. Mario. Okay.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I'm torn. I don't know, because France is clearly the favourites, but I'm all for the underdogs. I'm all for the people
Croatia.
you never expected. So I'm backing Croatia. I do feel like it's going to be an extra time kind of final.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yes. Vive la France!
Vive le Français.
Yeah. Can you imagine what's going to be happening at Bastille Day this weekend in
Oh,
Frankrijk, man?
mate.
Hey?
Mate, the champagne that's going
The
to be...
champagne is going to be flowing, yeah.
Vive le Français.
2-1 to
I
France.
tend to kind of agree with that, man.
I feel that's going to happen.
I see Kylian Mbappe just coming into his
that guy,
own
if he gets
in
it
this.
and he runs,
Yeah.
he's not gonna
I mean,
stop
who's
him.
going to stop him?
Here's the
Who's
beautiful
gonna
thing
stop
is
him?
we've said that time and time again with every other big team. So Monday we'll be celebrating Croatia.
I'm saying, vive la révolution.
Yes.
Les omelettes de fromage. Le blé. Anyway,
The revolution will be televised, that's all we're saying. Shall we play a little bit of a rewind
Yeah, let's
game?
do that.
I'm so ready for this.
Did you tune in for every Expresso show this week? Have
Yes.
you been listening and paying attention? Well,
Yes.
it's time to play our Expresso rewind game in which we'll see how much we can remember from this week's show. Team, what are your sounds? Catalejo. Okay, Zoe.
Me.
All right, Ewan.
Vive la bleu!
Can I tell
do you know how long it's going to take to
You're
say
going to
that?
lose with that
Doesn't
one.
matter, as long as the first kind
Do you
of
want to
sound comes
reassess
out
that? You're going to
quickly.
lose.
I'm going to go vive la bleu.
Okay, cool. All right. Question number one. Please wait for me to finish the question before you shout out or rather make your sounds.
Okay.
Which former Bafana coach joined Expresso for the World Cup semi-final discussion?
You see, it was there. It was
I
there.
feel like...
Oh, my word.
It was...
Give it to me.
Okay,
No,
first of
you
all,
can't
you
do
need to
that.
calm down, Papa
You
Bear.
can't do that.
Okay,
Sorry.
what's the answer, Kat?
Coach Gordon Igasan.
Okay. All right.
Can I just say,
Yes.
your say is the final one, and you pointed
I
to me, and
agree,
then
actually.
Lucian came
All
in
I know,
behind
all I
the
said
camera.
was,
agree.
oh, my word.
Okay, let us calm down, take a deep breath, and here we go. Jerry Silverman said she would love to collaborate with which SA artist?
Vive la bleu.
Definitely Zoe.
Shikaina.
Hey, okay.
I feel like...
Let's
I
get back
feel
into
like-
position. All right. What is Timothy DeMonk's new single called?
I don't know.
Kat, can I have an answer from you?
It is called, hold on, because you were standing there and he performed it.
If you get
I
this
think-
wrong, you go back to zero.
Hold on, you can't do that. You can't do
can,
that.
you can.
No, wait.
3, 2,
Anonymous?
What?
back to zero. Anybody else?
I don't know.
Zoe?
I never made a sound.
The answer is no
stress
stress moment.
moment.
The
I
only
know.
person
Never
with
made
the
a
point on the
sound.
board is Zoe.
idea.
Hey,
Because you are
Hey, Banda. Guys.
Do we have another one?
Beyonce and Jay-Z will perform in South Africa in December at which festival? Wow! Wow, okay, that was a tie. You guys are gonna have to tell me at the same time what the answer is.
3, 2, 1. The
Global Citizen
Festival.
Global
No,
Citizen
I'm right.
Festival.
You said concert, it's
Kathy said
festival.
concert, Zoe said festival. 2-0. Well done, Zoe.
Wait, can I just ask, since when do we minus points from people?
When
We've
you
never
are,
done that
when you
before.
are, forward. All right. Here's a question for you at home. Where was the Sisulu Circle Garden unveiled this week? That's your question. Share the answer with us on social media. If you're not sure what it is, you can visit our YouTube channel to check out those videos from the past week and listen out for the answer. So, Shaka, make sure you know the answer.
We're making
when
up
you
our
shout
own
it out.
rules. No, I don't like it. No,
I
stop.
don't know. I think the power of the tablet might have gone to her head. It's chaos that side of the studio. So we're going to bring some calm this morning, get to know our awesome band, Ben Day and the Concrete Lions. They're here to perform for you. We're going to put them to the test with a game of rapid fire. Then we've got some awesome ideas, ways that we can inspire you to get up and help to keep that legacy of Tata Madiba intact this Mandela Day. It is, after all, what would have been his centenary year. So an opportunity for us all to do something truly special. We'll see you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. What a Friday it's turning out to be. We are all still buzzing aplenty, as you can imagine, from that game of Expresso Rewind. Guys, I don't know if you checked that out. It really gets heated in the studio when we get playing.
Yeah, it's good. It's the World Cup.
It's how we want to start off. Oh, by the way, our performers, Ben Day in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Give it up. Great to have you here. We want to know everyone's score predictions and why it is that they're siding that way. So I've got to ask you guys, what do you say? Where do you see that score going and who's going to be taking the cup home?
I think that's going to be tight here.
Croatia.
Yeah, I really have it for Croatia this
yeah.
year. They're playing so well.
Because the French beat my team, I was supporting the Belgians, so...
Oh, really? Okay, so score predictions though.
I want the Croatians to revenge.
Okay, they will avenge the Belgians, I'm sure, but what do you see the score line being at the end of the day?
I say 2-1 to Croatia.
2-1 to Croatia.
Yeah.
It might be tighter, because the Croatians, the last 3 games, I think they've gone into the extra time.
Yeah.
So they've got a bit of endurance, so I don't know, they might push the French into extra time and penalties.
All right.
Be very tight.
Okay, cool, all right. Okay, we'll see how that scoreline goes. Now, let's quickly play our game of rapid fire questions, and this is where we take 60 seconds to get to know you as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, and you answer the first thing that comes to mind. We'll go with you first, but then obviously alternate. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Start the clock. Here we go. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Summer.
Grease medley or cha-cha slide?
Cha-cha slide.
Cha-cha slide.
Your biggest pet peeve?
Don't know. Early mornings.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
When people leave chewing gum under the table, and you, yeah.
Care Bears or Teletubbies?
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies.
Come on, guys. Toilet roll over or under?
It's easy.
Over.
Under.
Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, both are good.
You sound very unsure. Then Prince William or Prince Harry?
Harry? Prince Harry?
William.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Definitely a night owl.
Here's a good one. The best 007 ever?
Daniel Craig, I think he's believable at least.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the good old Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
You can imagine
yes,
those
please.
guys in real life fighting. Daniel Craig looks a bit...
Guys, we had you on the show last year. Update us on what's been happening since then.
Yeah, we are busy preparing for a tour. We're going on a tour down the East Coast next week, in fact. today we're playing a show later on at Cafe Rue. And other than that, we're working on a record. So we're working on getting some singles out soon.
Yeah, and
hopefully
then
August, September.
Who are you collaborating with in the effort to get this record out?
Well, it's just within the band. So like home producing and seeing where the mix will go. There's a few other friends around that are helping us. But yeah, hopefully it comes out together quite soon.
Fantastic, yeah. Well, we can't wait to hear and share in your music. Ben Day and the Concrete
Thanks for
Lines
having
here on
us,
your Feel Good Breakfast Show, ladies and gentlemen, on this Friday morning.
In your national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa's ambitious plan to attract $100 billion to kickstart the country's struggling economy received a major boost yesterday when Saudi Arabia committed to invest 133 billion rand in the country. This is expected to be invested in the energy and power creation sectors. SA Express announced yesterday that the South African Civil Aviation Authority has reinstated its Aircraft Maintenance Organisation certification. A statement said that the certification was issued after the airline had undergone a stringent and rigorous process to meet the regulator's high standards. On the international front, parliamentarians in South Sudan voted yesterday to extend the mandate of President Salva Kiir's government for an extra 3 years. Elections were due to be held this year, but conflict had made the timetable impossible. And then finally, the British government has published its blueprint for relations with the European Union, with Prime Minister Theresa May saying it delivers on the Brexit that people voted for. The long-awaited white paper is aimed at ensuring trade cooperation with no hard border with Northern Ireland and global trade deals for the UK. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
We have to kick it off, of course, in Russia. After 62 matches, we are down to the business end of the Soccer World Cup as France face Croatia in the final. That game live on SABC1 Sunday at 5 o'clock. Then, of course, tomorrow, that third and fourth playoff, England up against Belgium at 4 o'clock for the bronze medal. Then in cricket, the Proteas finished day one of their first test against Sri Lanka on 4 for the loss of 1, trailing by 283 runs. And moving on to rugby, the final round of the Super Rugby group stage takes place this weekend as the Sharks take on the Jaguares with the slimmest of hopes of making it through, while the Bulls already out. They're up against the Lions, who have qualified that at Loftus. And then finally in tennis, a big weekend in Wimbledon. Angelique Kerber and Serena Williams will battle it out for this year's Wimbledon title tomorrow after both players secured pretty comfortable semi-final victories yesterday. More on all of our weekend sports and, of course, the World Cup. Get those predictions in 021-430-9881. Who is going to take that final right now? Let's get a traffic update.
Well, let's take a first look at your roads in Gauteng in Centurion. There's protest action happening on the N14 highway. It's approaching the R55 and it's slowing down traffic, so please try and avoid this route. Then in Cape Town, just a quick train update. Now, if you're traveling on the Cape Flats line, you can expect a delay of 15 to 20 minutes. And that's due to vandalism and infrastructure problems at Hazendal, Pinelands, and between Maitland and Ndabeni. I'll bring you another traffic update in half an hour.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu-C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, it's just after 6:30. Let's quickly get another weather update going into your Friday, and it looks like most parts of the country can expect some showers and scattered showers and also some cool temperatures this morning, so dress warm. Run you through quickly. Polokwane starting off on 5 minimum, reaching a high of 21 degrees. Mbombela 9:26, Pretoria 7 and a high of 19, Johannesburg 6:17, Mahikeng 9:22, Klerksdorp on 8 minimum, reaching a high of 20, Kimberley 3 and a high of 19 degrees with scattered showers expected. Bloemfontein also a couple of showers for your Friday. Starting off on 4 minimum, reaching a warmer 20. Richards Bay 15 and a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg 12 and a high of 27. Durban 17:27. Mthatha 8 minimum this morning with a maximum 23 degrees and some rain expected. East London can also expect some rain going into your Friday. 10 minimum, your maximum 17. Cradock 1 this morning, staying cool with a maximum 13. Port Elizabeth 9 minimum with a maximum 16. Also some rain expected. George 8:17. Sutherland cold today, minus Paris 2 and a high of 6 degrees. Cape Town is 7, reaching a high of 14 with some scattered showers expected. Worcester 4, 11, Springbok 2, 11, and Uppington on around 0, reaching a high of 16 degrees and also some scattered showers expected. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6:30 bulletin. We'll bring you another update in half an hour's time, just after 7 o'clock.
So we all know that Nelson Mandela is one of the most revered individuals in the world, not only because of his actions, but because of his profound and moving words as well. So every day in July, we're going to be celebrating something that Tata Madiba has said, as we, of course, celebrate his centenary here, which is now in 2018. And there is a whole host of incredibly moving quotes, one that we're going to share with you right now.
Absolutely. This morning's one reads as such: the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear.
Oh,
the
that
brave
is
man
powerful.
is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear.
Powerful.
And you think about how sometimes fear kind of limits your potential, how it holds you back from success.
Yeah.
Take that into account, think about it, and let that be your mantra for this day. Okay, well, I think as we and the whole of the world celebrate Nelson Mandela Month, leading up to Nelson Mandela Day on the 18th of this month, then go out there and find inspiration in this man's great deeds, of course, alongside his great comrades that fought for the struggle and our liberation, and be inspired by it.
So as we let those words resonate, I think we know that we are celebrating the memory of Nelson Mandela in a very special way throughout 2018, as this would have been the year that he would have turned 100 years old. His spirit of generosity, the Ubuntu, lives on. And I think we are able to live that every Mandela Day, where we're encouraged to spend at least 67 minutes of our time helping others in need.
And Expresso will be commemorating Mandela Day a little early this year, as on Monday, the 16th of July, we will be joined by Good Hope FM Breakfast with Dan Corder's team in warming the hearts of 67 charitable organizations in Cape Town and surrounding areas at this Madiba Day.
But we can't do it alone. We need you. We are appealing to you to dig deep into your cupboards, even deeper into your pockets if you can, and get them the items they need. We are talking about the essentials that we take for granted: blankets, clothes, linen, baby products, feminine hygiene products, toiletries, non-perishable foods, stationery and toys. All will be hugely appreciated. So the station will be spending their Mandela Day at the various organizations, delivering these much needed goods and connecting with the community while they do it. Love it.
So please dig deep and bring it. And those donations can be dropped off at the SABC building. That's at 209 Beach Road in Sea Point in Cape Town. And today is the last day for that, Friday the 13th. And the full list of beneficiaries and items needed for donations can be found on goodhopefm.co.za. And don't forget to tune in to see the team live in action this coming Monday on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Thank you so much, guys. Right now, let's quickly take a break, a very brief one at that. Go recharge your coffee cup. Princess is making my cappuccino, right? Yeah? It's on its way. It's on its way. We like it. Listen, when we come back, it's a weekend. We're helping you plan your weekend at that as well. Taking a look at some of those hot and happening events all across the country with the Roger Good team. We'll connect with them after the break. And then also we're taking a look at a very special fashion show. It's called the Winter Wonderland Charity Fashion Show with some star-studded cast members in there as well, which is going to make sure that you feel good going into this weekend as well with the inspirational stories. Stick around for that and a whole lot more after the break.
Hear them cry, Babel, Babel, Babylon. Hear them cry, Babel, Babel, Babylon. Hear them cry, Babel, Babel, Babylon. Hear them cry, Babel, Babel, Babylon.
very good morning. Welcome to it. It's the weekend. We've got just what you've been craving for. Live from across the land, it's the Roger Good Show. DJ Roger Good, Suresh Ryder, Nadia from 5FM. Good morning, you beauties. How's it going? Oh, like music to my ears. I always imagine your face going red like my baby's when you scream like that, dude. How you doing, dude? It's the World Cup final. How you guys feeling?
Well, I mean, we did a draw on the show, and almost all of our teams have been knocked out already. I mean, you got to be honest. Would you ever have predicted this in the beginning, that so many of the big teams would have dropped out, Ryan?
I have not been able to make one correct prediction, and sport is my job, dude. I've lost all confidence in myself. But of course, we're going to try and draw our attentions away from the football just a little bit this weekend. Awesome weekend lineup. What you got for us?
All right, let's kick it off. First up, the City Boys in KZN, Durban. How are you doing, my babies? The colour line is back. The Durban North College, the happiest 5K on the planet, is coming to Durban on July the 4th. So get ready for more clowning and less frowning this year as we all run away to the carnival for a day of rainbows, health, happiness, and multicolored fun. That's happening tomorrow, the 14th of July, from 2 o'clock in the afternoon. $50 will get you in. Look at those pictures on your screens right now. Yes, sir. Our second hot pick this weekend has to be our man John Flismus in Brain Dump out in Johannesburg at Monte Casino. He's got a brand new show, John Flismus Chews on the Truth, and spits out hilariously dark but happy anger, brutal, honest, and vivid imagery in a brand new show. His new show, Brain Dump, promises to make you laugh loudly as he tries to answer some of the most burning questions ever asked. And finally, you know it, we've been making massive noise about this on 5FM the whole week, the whole month. Sun City, Live Loud, it is back. It is that time of year again. The second annual 5FM Live Loud mid-year break is happening this July. You can party the Shebeen Sunday. Just a quick look. I'll give you some of the highlights that are happening. We're really looking forward to this. With the Sun City Arena, Encore, and the Valley. So they hang out with Mikasa, Easy Free, Carl Cass, and Das Capital. All the 5FM All-Stars are going to be there. Mercedes James, Nicole Da Silva, Hammond, and some guy named Roger Good's going to be there as well with Forbes and Fix. So it's going to be massive the whole weekend. Get there from it's about $75. We'll get you in. What do you say, Graham? You going to be there?
I've never heard of that Roger Good Oak, but got to give newcomers a chance, man. No, they might as well cancel the World Cup final, bro. That is an insane lineup. We know it's one of the parties of the year. But if you can't get up to Sun City, of course, down in the mother city, it's the Cape Town Funny Festival. Lots of laughs coming your way this weekend. Cape Town's annual comedy festival returns to the Baxter Theatre this July and August. And of course, it's an opportunity for you to chill with some of the best comedians in South Africa. Our master MC, Alan Committee, one of the legends in the industry, is back. But we've got variety acts, some top comedians. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity to just take it easy. And that's tomorrow, being the 14th of July. $190 will get you, and it kicks off at the Baxter, as I said, at 8 o'clock. Can I get a World Cup-inspired hoorah, please? Oh, well done, Suresh. I could hear you. For the first time this year, I could hear you over everyone else. And that's our pick of what's happening across Mzansi over the weekend. Nice one.
Oh, you gotta love the 5FM team. Their hoo-ha sounded like we sound during our Expresso Rewind game.
It was a hoorah and a half.
It was a hoorah and a half. Well, it is now time for us to dig into our Mzansiwood news. What are our local stars up to?
Lots and lots and lots. As you can imagine, World Cup fever has gripped the entire world, and you never know who you'd bump into when you go and watch a World Cup game. In fact, this was the caption that captioned this photo by Trevor Noah, who went to go watch the Croatia-England, France, it is England, yes. Croatia-England semi-final, and he met none other than Nas, American rapper Nas. It's crazy who you could meet at the World Cup.
Oh my gosh.
And as you can imagine, there's a whole host of people that are there that watched England lose and fall short of that milestone. And it's like you going to watch, let's say, like Pirates versus Sundowns, and then, hey, Drake, you are here. What? What's going on? And then you do the In My Fields challenge together.
But he's just the... I've seen that In My Fields challenge. It's interesting. But Trevor Noah is just doing unbelievable. And I just love always the way he's humble in all of his captions. I mean, look at that. You never know who you're going to meet at the World Cup. There we go.
You don't think he was referring to himself? No, I'm joking. But also, pretty cool, his show, The Daily Show, got, I think, 3 Emmy nominations whilst he was there as well. So he's doing some incredible work while enjoying the World Cup as well. But in other other big news here on our Feel Good Breakfast Show. Next week, guess who we will be entertaining on your Feel Good Breakfast Show?
I have no idea.
None other than Babes What Do More. She's going to be here doing the things that make the pots to be done. I hope she wears that outfit so we can talk about Black
stunning.
Panther and all kinds of things as well. So can't wait to have her on the show. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Oh, well, there was some interesting local entertainment news. Of course, with your international entertainment news, we'll take a run through of all of those Emmy nominations, so don't go anywhere.
Now, it might be cold outside, but that doesn't chill the warmth in our hearts. Unfortunately, not all of us are born with fully functioning hearts, but the Winter Wonderland charity fashion show organized by Kairos Events and emceed by JP Roberts seeks to aid this plight, with all the proceeds going towards the Heart of Hope Congenital Defect Support Group. Now, CEO of Kairos, CJ Jackson, along with JP Roberts, joins us on our couch this morning to share more with us ahead of the event tomorrow at the Kenilworth Racecourse. Gentlemen, good to have you on the show this morning. And I love this event. I think it's fantastic. CJ, I'm going to kick it off with you. Now, we know that we are gripped by the chilliness of winter, but how have you prepared for this event? What's gone into the look and feel to make it a winter wonderland?
Thank you, Dan, for having us, firstly.
It's a pleasure.
In terms of the look and feel for the event, it's just to capture people's hearts.
Yeah.
To be able for people to walk in there, and even though it's winter, to be able to feel the warmth. Because Kairos Models is all about love, all about warmth. So what we've done is create that ambience for people when they walk in there to feel the love, and also to feel that I'm in a place where people are, where I can get to know people. So that's what we're doing to make sure that everybody's going to have an enjoyable experience. Lots of preparation for the show. Lots of sleepless nights, waking up at 2 o'clock, going to bed at 5 o'clock, waking up for our general work at like 6 o'clock. But the best planning, if you're passionate about something and you want to see a success, midnights is the best time to keep on working.
I hear you, where the owls come alive. Now, the proceeds are going to a very, very special cause. How did you choose the organization that you're going to be supporting with us?
So the organization that I'm going to be supporting this year is congenital heart disease. A family friend of mine has it. His name is Daniel, and he has had it from birth. So statistics, 1 in 100 kids have congenital heart disease. And it's pretty difficult because going for an average person to be able to afford it, your one op does cost 500,000 rand to be able to pay for that. And I've obviously seen Daniel. He's been for 7 ops since his birth. And that's Daniel and his mom, Monique. So the struggle has really been real with them. And because they're closer to my heart and because they family, I'm doing it for them. But the bigger picture is to be able to help Heart of Hope because they battle to get funding. Monique and I just had a conversation last week where she discussed if she didn't have medical aid, she wouldn't have been able to pay for it. So many people who don't have medical aid are unable to pay for it. So blessed to her that she does. She does say that...
And of course to you as well for creating this opportunity for people to support, eh? That's absolutely amazing.
It is amazing because even though I'm doing the fashion show and the designers are giving back, all the proceeds is going to Heart of Hope.
Yeah.
So the models are doing it as a charity give back.
Awesome.
JP is also doing it as a charity give back.
Yeah.
So we've got like models like Michelle, that's also on there.
Talking about JP, what does it mean to you to be able to host this event, and what are you hoping that people are going to get out of it?
It's really heartwarming for me to be able to do something like this. Obviously, you would know this from first-hand experience. It's getting your name out there, but it's also our way of basically supporting different organizations and initiatives. So it's really cool to be able to host this type of thing, to be able to connect with new people, to support a valuable cause. So it's really, really great.
I'm so happy. And then, of course, when it comes to the red carpet and the catwalk, what can we look forward to seeing?
So much. So I saw the list of designers that are going to be displaying their ranges, and believe it or not, we're actually going to see a range from South Africa's youngest designer. She's only 10 years old.
What?
10 years old.
Mind blown.
And she's launching her own range, which is absolutely amazing. And then, of course, I get the very, very big honor of modeling one of the designer's ranges, which I'm very excited about. So I'll be emceeing and I'll be on the runway.
Well, I feel like you guys are a triple threat because you can do anything. I mean, come on, you not only you look great as organizers, but you can actually hit the red carpet as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank
All
you.
the best for the event. I think it's beautiful. It's got an amazing cause, and I hope that everyone out there goes home and supports as well. Well, there you go. The Winter Wonderland charity fashion show takes place tomorrow, Saturday, the 14th of July, starting from 7 p.m. at the Kenilworth Racecourse in Cape Town. Now, tickets can be purchased from quicket.co.za, and you can also donate to the Heart of Hope cause by searching for Raising Funds for Heart of Hope on gogetfunding.com. Let's support them. It's an incredible cause, and of course, we all need to be doing our bit as we are celebrating Mandela Month as well.
I don't know why every time I say that the World Cup final is fun, I want to burst out crying because I don't know what I'm going to do next week, but we've got one more weekend of World Cup action to savor. We've got Gordon and Ash in the house. We want to take your predictions. Who's going to take it? France or Croatia? 021-430-9881. Give us a shout if you're keen. And we're going to get into a host of the social media predictions coming through. There have been tons. Some interesting ones. Do you go with your heart? Do you go with your head? I don't know.
I don't know either, man. But listen, on another note, a feel-good note is that Ben Day and the Concrete Lion are here.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, the rapid-fire question we threw at them earlier, you guys, they were shocking. It was really shocking. They were thrown by the toilet roll over and under question.
Everyone
completely.
is, man. Everyone is.
But they're awake. They've sound checked. They're sounding amazing. They're performing after the break. Stick around.
Meet the remaining finalists on Presenter Search on 3.
I'm Fezile Mkhize, a medical doctor and soon to be the top presenter on Presenter Search on 3. I really want to be a TV presenter because I feel like it's an extension of what I've always loved doing, which is helping people. At the drop of a hat, a shirt can disappear, and a smile comes very easy when it comes to me.
Do you happen to have a spare pad of sick notes?
If I make it...
I'll call you, dog.
Stack. My biggest inspiration has always been my mother because she raised 5 very, very wild kids. Reading has always been an escape for me. Reading epic fantasies and getting lost for hours on end was my jam. When people look at me, they sometimes think I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, probably because I can do 100 push-ups at the drop of a hat. 100. I think this belongs to you. Spending quality time with my girlfriend means a lot of yoga, a lot of physical activity, and just generally chilling and trying to zone out after very long and strenuous days. I want to be the kind of presenter where people rush home and make sure that they can see me on screen and have them next to me as we move through all the different segments and adventures on the show.
Catch all the drama as contestants compete to become one of 3 new presenters on SABC3. That's Presenter Search on 3, Thursday night at 7:30. The stage is yours.
Over the hill, tell me why I'm a wanted man with a name to kill. Behind sea fire in the town, smoke in the field. Don't know why I'm running still. And I'll keep my eyes straight up towards the sun. Oh, I can't help smiling whilst I run.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back back. You're tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. It's a Friday morning. Welcome to it. Right now, though, let's quickly turn our attention to that funny, random, and interesting video that we found online, and just to start your Friday off with a Feel Good vibe. Yeah.
And just to give you a little bit of a laugh,
Yeah.
now, I absolutely love an airport. It's the perfect place to do some people watching, and there have been some interesting things, and we've come across online. So this guy has got luggage with his face on it, and it's a great way to never lose your luggage again.
Never lose your luggage again. Nice idea.
Let's take
What
a
else
look at
do
some
we
of
have?
the interesting things
Who
that
needs
came.
What?
He's got the phone on his head.
I
That's
love it.
annoying when you
People
can't
get
get a
inventive
charging
at
point.
airports, man.
Yes,
Really
they
do.
I was watching the Avengers on my laptop at the airport. This was happening behind me. Look at them. They were also like
I
watching.
want to watch a movie. Nice.
When benches are too hard to sleep on at the airport. That is clever.
Nice. Brings his own hammock to set it up there.
one will
Gets a bit of
disturb
snooze
you.
on that layover. Man, yeah. I'm going to be traveling soon, so maybe that's an idea as well, which is it. So there we have it. Thank you, Zoe. If you've got maybe any funny pictures that happened to you at the airport, please share them with us. I mean, it's a perfect place to just get those funny pictures in. But let us also know which hashtag, video or story has caught your attention online this morning. And please share your thoughts with us online on our Facebook page, also on Twitter, using that hashtag Expresso Show.
Well, from performing on stages all across Africa to our very own stage here on SABC3's Feel Good Breakfast Show, Ben Day and the Concrete Lions are here to kickstart our Friday the Feel Good way. I like that. Just get me awake. Make sure I'm awake. And here they are performing a song called The Sirens.
I hear the sirens from over the hill. Tell me why I'm a wanted man with a name to kill. Behind sea fire in the town and smoke in the fields. Don't know why I'm running still. And I'll keep my eyes straight up towards the sun. Ooh, I can't help smiling whilst I run. See, the fighting's been raging since all the world were young. But now the time has come. So hear them cry, Babylon. Hear them cry, Babylon. Hear them cry, Babylon. Hear them cry, Babylon. Babylon. Hear them cry, Babel, Babel, Babylon.
Ben Day and the Concrete Lions on your Feel Good Breakfast show, surely getting us into the weekend mood with that song, The Sirens. Let us know what you thought about that performance on our Feel Good Breakfast show's social media platforms, and we'll have more from the band a little bit later on.
In the national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa's ambitious plan to attract $100 billion to kickstart the country's struggling economy received a major boost yesterday when Saudi Arabia committed to invest 133 billion rand in the country. This is expected to be invested in the energy and power creation sectors. Ramaphosa met with King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud in the port city of Jeddah yesterday. South Africa imports an estimated 47% of its oil from Saudi Arabia. Total trade amounted to more than 56 billion rand in 2017. His tour will end today with a visit to the United Arab Emirates. SA Express announced yesterday that the South African Civil Aviation Authority had reinstated its Aircraft Maintenance Organisation certification. A statement said the certification was issued after the airline had undergone a stringent and rigorous process to meet the regulator's high standards. SA Express says its recently appointed board briefed the Minister of Public Enterprises, Praveen Gordhan, on the progress achieved since the airline was grounded. The airline said Gordhan expressed dissatisfaction with progress to return the airline to full operation in the near future. Now moving further abroad, parliamentarians in South Sudan voted yesterday to extend the mandate of President Salva Kiir's government for an extra 3 years in a move that could complicate peace efforts. The law will allow Kiir to remain in power until 2021, even as he is engaged in the latest round of regional peace negotiations with his former deputy turned rebel leader, Riek Machar, on ending the 4-year-old civil war. Elections were due to be held this year, but conflict had made the timetable impossible. And then finally, British government has published its blueprint for relations with the European Union, with Theresa May saying that it delivers on the Brexit that people voted for. The long-awaited white paper is aimed at ensuring trade cooperation with no hard border for Northern Ireland and global trade deals for the UK. The UK is hoping the EU will back the proposals in the white paper so an exit deal can be struck by autumn, ahead of the UK's official departure from the EU in March. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
So after 62 matches, we are down to the business end of the 2018 Soccer World Cup as France face Croatia in the final on Sunday. And while France will be pushing for their second win in 3 finals, Croatia will be making history as they take part in a World Cup final for the very first time. Sunday's final in Moscow kicks off at 5 o'clock. You can catch every ball live on SABC1. And of course, the 3rd and 4th playoff tomorrow at 4, England up against Belgium. We're going to take your predictions in just a moment. 021 430 9881. Give us a call. Then on to cricket. The Proteas finished day 1 of their first test against Sri Lanka on 4 for the loss of 1. Trailing by 283 runs at this stage, with Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first. Dimuth Karunaratne, he put on a batting masterclass, hitting 158, helping Sri Lanka eventually reach 287 before being bowled out. In reply, South Africa lost to Aiden Markram early for no runs with the close of play looming. So day 2 from that first test continues at the Gare International Stadium. Then a big weekend in Super Rugby, as well as the final round of the Super Rugby group stage takes place this weekend with 3 South African teams in action. So despite sitting outside the qualification places as it stands, the Sharks can still move into the knockout round if they beat the Jaguares tomorrow and if the Highlanders do us a favour by convincingly beating the Rebels. Some other fixtures to look out for: the already qualified Lions will be taking on the eliminated Bulls in that showdown at Ellis Park. Then on to tennis, a big one for South Africa, but let's start on the ladies' draw. Angelique Kerber and Serena Williams will battle for this year's Wimbledon title tomorrow, as both players secured comfortable semi-final victories yesterday. Up first, 11th seed Kerber had no problems as she downed Yelena Ostapenko in straight sets, while Williams saw out a pretty easy 6-2, 6-4 win over Julia Gorges. In today's men's semi-finals, South Africa's Kevin Anderson will take on John Isner, while Novak Djokovic will go head-to-head with Rafa Nadal. And of course, another South African connection as Raven Klaasen joins his partner, Michael Venus, in the double doubles final. So we're sending all of our hopes to the South African connection at this year's Wimbledon. But we're going to talk World Cup in just a moment.
Let's take another look at the roads in Gauteng, Pretoria. There's reports of protest action happening on the N14 highway. It's in both directions between the R511 and the R55, so please make use of alternative routes. Then in Boysens, there's been an accident on the M1 southbound. It's at the Crown interchange and it's also slowing down traffic. Please be patient on that route and allow for some extra travel time. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
Turning air into pristine, clean drinking water. Cirrus Water, the future of sustainable drinking water.
Just after 7 o'clock, let's quickly get another update in terms of your weather and your temperatures. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect some rain going into your Friday with cool morning temperatures. So to rest nice and warm, we also had some nice rain just for right now in Sea Point. But let me run you through those temperatures quickly. Polokwane up first with a minimum of 5, minimum reaching a high of 21 degrees. Mandela 9.26, nice and warm up there. Pretoria 7 and a high of 19. Johannesburg 6 and a high of 17. Mahikeng 9.22. Klerksdorp on 8 minimum, your maximum 20. Kimberley on a 3 minimum, reaching a high of 19 degrees. Bloemfontein 4 and a high of 20. Richards Bay on a 15, reaching a high of 29 degrees. Pietermaritzburg 12 and a high of 27. Durban 17, 27. Mthatha 8, 23. East London 10 minimum, your maximum 17. Cradock 1 this morning, reaching a high of 13 degrees and some rain expected. Port Elizabeth 9, 16. George 8, 17. Sutherland nice and cold today, -2 this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 6 degrees. Cape Town 7.14, Worcester 4.11, Springbok 2 and a high of 11 degrees, and Uppington starting off on around 0, staying cool with a maximum of 16 degrees and some scattered showers expected. It's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7 o'clock bulletin. I'll have another update for you just after 7:30.
Well, we are connecting with you on social media. We love following hashtags. And this morning we're checking out Friday Feeling. And of course, it's all to make you feel good ahead of the weekend. Now, we have this beautiful quote from Jim Rohn that says, learn how to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. Some wise words. There's a great one that came through here saying, today I will be compassionate towards my fellow beings, gentle thoughts, polite temperament, and humility. Absolutely beautiful. So we'd love you to connect with us with that hashtag Friday Feeling. And then just taking a look, one coming here from Cheyenne saying, right, complete the story. Someone may be waiting for a story like that to be written. Well, there you go. Let us know what your hashtag Friday Feeling is with that hashtag Expresso Show.
Well, our Friday Feeling right now is leading up all the way to Sunday, the World Cup final. In fact, we've got former coach Gordon Egerson, we've got former coach of Bafana Bafana, and our friend in football, Ashraf Mohammed, joining us. We want you to give us a call and tell us about your score predictions. Who do you think will take it? Who's going to score those goals? Link up with us on social media as well, 0214309881.
And then we catch up with Black Panther actress Connie Chiume in the house. It's Wakanda Forever, everybody. And all of that is happening after the break.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
prepared that time, Gordon. You were prepared. I'm going to miss this whistle so much, and my girlfriend's not going to let me take it home. There's no chance. Gordon, great to have you here. Bafana coach, one of the greatest coaches, I think, in the PSL. So awesome to be able to plug into you. Ash, you're just our dude, man.
Thanks,
and I know you've been as emotionally invested in this World Cup as I have. It's been amazing. But we've got, and we want you guys to call in, please. 021 430 9881. Please give us a shot. We've got Nuruddin on the line right now from the Mother City. Nuruddin, how are you doing, man?
I'm very well, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. I can hear the excitement in your voice. How are you feeling about this World Cup final, bro?
I'm telling you, my man, this World Cup was turned upside down.
Did you have a favourite at the beginning?
Oh, yes, England, and they came so bloody close.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
So bloody close, my man. I'm telling you, you know, the reason why I'm supporting Croatia is because they're not really the favourites.
100%.
You know, with this World Cup, if you bet on the favourite, unfortunately, you're going to do wrong.
I hope you haven't lost any money on this World Cup, man. So what do you...
No. Luckily not.
What?
I would have been so wrong.
Oh, man. What is your prediction then? Put your head on a block here. What is your prediction for the final score?
Definitely Croatia, 2-1. And the reason for that is also their attacking is brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, what England, the problem with England was the fact that they played, when they were leading 1-0, they played back and not forward. They didn't attack.
100%, man. I'm watching Gordy here just nodding his head, man. So thank you, Nuruddin. Enjoy it, my brother. Wherever you find yourself, celebrate what has been an amazing World Cup. Do you agree? I know that England did lose a step, and I think the moment got bigger than them. Who do you think is going to carry this Croatian forward? Because they are an attack-minded team, and it's not really, you can't really place that on anyone. I know Perisic has been that attack-minded player, but do you see Croatia being able to find a way to win? And how does Dalic do that? How does, as a coach, do you coach a team against a French outfit like this?
I think the most important thing here is to get Modric involved all the time. He wants the ball all the time. Get him involved. Perisic, as you know, is a fantastic player. He runs, he eliminates players, he goes forward. You know, they've got a big striker up front who always comes to the party, always scores a goal. He gives him a different type of outlet. If they need to get balls in the box, he can win them. So, you know, cup final you can't predict. I mean, I thought Germany would go close to winning the World Cup. The reigning champions, they didn't feature. Brazil went out when they looked like they were going to be complete favourites. And in this game on Sunday, you can't really pick one. I mean, both teams deserve to be there. France have been absolutely outstanding, and as you say, Croatia, you know, they're some useful players.
There's a lot of heart. How would you play this from a coach's perspective? We know that Deschamps got all the options. He can play pretty much any kind of formation. Yeah. He can play from behind. The counter-attacking is insane. How would you, as Dalic, as the underdog here, what would you tell this Croatian team to do?
I think what's been key with Croatia's success is that they play as a team. Gordon mentioned how all the big names like Brazil and Germany and those guys, they almost relied on the big star. Argentina also with Messi there. Whereas Croatia, they have Modric, but Perisic is him, and Mandzukic up front, the goalkeeper, Subasic. So they're all together, you know. So France also, similarly, although Pogba's a big name, Kylian Mbappe as well, but they also play as a team. Their defensive duo, Rafael Varane has been brilliant, Benjamin Pavard, brilliant. Hugo Lloris, a goalkeeper and captain, superb size, you know. So if Croatia can get that team dynamic going again, they can give France a go. But the French as well, so strong in all areas.
It's going to be very tough. Let's get the prediction of David, also connecting with us from here in Cape Town. David, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You sound quite serious, man. Are you taking this final serious, dude? How are you feeling about World Cup 2018?
Okay, I think that Croatia will get the World Cup because they wouldn't let the chance of getting their first World Cup go away like that.
I love that. Who do you think is going to score for them? How do you think this game is going to play out? How will Croatia beat France?
Modric will score the goal of victory. I think he will do anything to like be the stopper of the game. Yeah.
I love it, dude. I think we're agreeing with you. There's a part my emotional side says. Definitely. I think Modric, he's been doing a lot of the groundwork. He hasn't really come good. We don't know him as a prolific goal scorer, but there seems to be something in the air. And maybe, does it make a difference with these big milestones? The fact that this is their first World Cup final, does that count against you? or does that create a kind of belief in the narrative of this World Cup? Forget about the past. They've done it. Do they believe because they've beaten the odds in extra time, because they've beaten the odds in penalties? Who do you think believes they can win more? Who's got the psychological edge?
I think Croatia have had a good run and building the team together. So every time you go into a penalty shootout, you see the guys on halfway line, the arms around each other, the pressure, when the goal gets scored, they're together. And I think they really believe they can win it. And I also believe they can win it. I think it's going to be a tough game. I mean, if you look at Griezmann and Mbappe, they got 3 goals each. They want to maybe become top goal scorer. If one of them score a hat-trick, they're going to be with Harry Kane, leading goal scorer. I mean, can you imagine Harry Kane being the leading goal scorer in the tournament, and we've got the rest of the guys are like 3 goals behind, So
you said the H word, man. Come on. I can't believe you said the H word, man. Come on. So we got another call on the line. Denny, a very good morning, all the way from Durbs. How are you doing, Denny?
Hi, good. Very well.
You sound excited, dude. How are you feeling about Russia 2018? What are your thoughts on the final?
Wow, exciting, man. I like France to win, eh?
Why?
They play very well. They play as a team, eh?
All the talk about Real, how much would you, and I asked you to think about this, at 19 years old, with that skill set, you look at the difference between Sterling and him. Sterling has the pace, can't control the ball. Mbappe can feed, he can play on the wing, he can play in the middle, he can run at pace, control the ball, all the dribbling skills. How much would you pay for him to come to your club?
Break the bank for him, man. There was talk about Messi in the past being 500 million pounds or something crazy like that. Mbappe, I think, is getting there as well. Just his overall package that he provides. He can mix it up, he can go down the line, he can come up the middle, get behind the defense. He just got everything. Not like Neymar, though.
I think you're getting confused,
He's young, man. He's young. So how do you guys see this playing out? Your one final prediction. Is it going to go the distance? Do you think France will dominate from early on? How do you think this is going to be decided, Gordon?
Look, I think it's going to be a very cagey game. It's a World Cup final. Both teams will be a little bit cautious to start off with. They want to eliminate the opposition stars. Modric will be certainly picked up very, very tight. Mbappe is going to be picked up very, very tightly. There's not going to be too much room for the star players on the side. But as we said earlier on, Croatia is a team together. They really fighting, and France are really a good team. They really have proven to be probably the best team in this tournament at the moment. They're clicking at the right time. They've got some great players going forward. Defensively, they're very, very strong. I think it's going to be a great match.
I think that's where it's going to come to be. A score prediction.
You put me on the spot. It's difficult. I'm going to say France are going to win 2-1.
2-1, Ash?
1-0 France.
1-0 France.
Yeah. I think France is going to attack them from the start.
I'm going to go for a dramatic extra time win for Croatia, 2-1, just to bring some balance to the force. Gentlemen, what an absolute pleasure. I know we're going to connect again to kind of assess what's gone down here, but love it, man. Absolutely love every moment of this World Cup. You can catch it all live on SABC1, that final kicking off at 5 o'clock.
You can be glad you joined us when you did right now, because otherwise there would be nothing left of the ingredients that we're about to make this recipe. Anel Potgieter joining us this morning. Before we get into this, what's your prediction? Who are you going for in the
Croatia.
Croatia.
I don't know why.
Croatia, she says, as she gears up to prepare a French recipe. Not good, man, not good.
I'm just doing it to please you. Want ek weet jy skryf vir France.
Yes, France all the way. Listen, we are gearing up. Of course, it's also Bastille Festival this weekend taking place in France, celebrating that French culture. And of course, coincidence or not, but the French final going up against Croatia this weekend on Sunday. So we're making something mouth-wateringly French in our Sasco baking segment here this morning.
Yes.
Croque Monsieur.
Yes, it's Croque Monsieur.
Croque Monsieur. Perfect snack for the game, by the way.
Yes, it's a perfect snack. It's like a gooey, delicious cheese and ham, but it's like uplifted with some bechamel and biltong and mustard sauce.
I'm glad you're throwing a bit of South African flavour in there, because we are going to be watching it from here. But perfect winning dish for the weekend's final. I'm just saying.
And losing dish for me.
It's a good one. Let's get into it.
Okay, so what we're going to start with, we're going to make a white sauce of a bechamel sauce, soos wat jy 'n gewone eet.
Okay.
Jy ken dit seker al waar jy botter, melt your butter.
Yes.
Oh gosh, die pan is bietjie baie warm.
Caramelize that butter.
Yeah, and then we're going to add some flour, about 2 tablespoons of flour.
All right, just like you would a white sauce. Okay.
Yeah, a white sauce.
Start with a white sauce. That's good.
Hierdie ouke, dis nou 'n brown sauce. Dit gaan nou 'n brown sauce wees.
That's good, because when you throw in bacon, biltong.
And then we're going to add some milk.
All right.
onthou met 'n klits sodat dit nie heeltemal dit begin nou half, so we have to get it smooth.
Jy moet vinnig werk aan
Ek weet.
Get your hands on the recipe by SMSing the keyword Sasco to 33728. That's Sasco to 33728. And you could be making this weekend, man. Perfect. Like I said, if you are supporting France and you want to make something typically French as well, this croque monsieur.
So I've added some matured cheddar, some biltong.
All right.
En dan 'n bietjie mustard and a bit of nutmeg.
Yes.
And then you just cook it out so the flour cooked is.
Hey, but it looks good. Look at that.
I know.
It looks really good. And I love the fact that you threw in this biltong kind of shavings. Yeah, beautiful.
So that's done now.
Done. Right. Leave that. Okay.
So now you're going to give me 3 slices of Sasco bread.
Yes, we like this because Sasco is good quality. It's been around for over 80 years.
Yeah.
How many do you need?
You can give me 3 or 2, doesn't matter. So we're going to layer it like this.
What is that, prosciutto?
Yeah, no, this is Black Forest ham. You can use normal ham or prosciutto, whatever you like.
Okay, prosciutto could be nice flavour in there.
So yes, gruyere for that sharp, beautiful, cheesy flavour.
Okay.
You can do a few layers.
Right.
And then you're going to fry this with a bit of butter in your pan.
Okay.
Eers aan die een kant, dan aan die ander kant.
Right.
Nee? And then...
Oh, and here comes that magic...
Yes.
Kind of imagine white sauce, but
imagine it fried and all buttery.
I don't have to imagine it because there's the finished one already.
Yes. And then you're going to bake this till it's bubbly and golden.
Okay,
like
so after it's fried in the pan, bam, in the oven.
In the oven, 200 grade vir 'n rukkie, so everything melts and get together. And then when it's done, when you cut it, that melted cheese on the inside and this gooey cheese sauce on the outside, rich, decadent. Perfect.
Worthy of a World Cup winning snack.
Met 'n lekker bier of 'n glasie wyn
Yes, please. It's going to be a good weekend. I can feel it. The keyword is Sasco. SMS that to 33728. But if you've missed any of the steps to make your croque monsieur this morning, here they are just for you again.
How's about a little South African flair with your next French-inspired croque monsieur? The Sasco sandwich ticks all the boxes, but beware, it might get a little messy. Melt butter over medium heat, before adding flour and mixing until well combined. Continue cooking for another minute to cook the flouriness out. Begin adding the milk, mixing continuously to prevent any lumps forming. Bring the mixture to a gentle simmer before gradually adding the cheese and mixing through, again stirring continuously. Add your South African element by mixing in the biltong dust and nutmeg and seasoning. Remove from the heat and stir through the Dijon mustard. Assemble your sandwich by adding cheese to a slice of Sasco bread, followed by 3 slices of ham. Add a slice of bread and repeat with cheese and ham. Finish with a final slice of bread to complete the sandwich. Melt butter in a pan over a medium heat and add the sandwich to toast until golden and crispy. Turn over and cook the other side in the same manner. Once golden, transfer to an oven-proof dish and pour over the cheese sauce before placing in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius to cook until the sauce begins to bubble and caramelize. Remove from the oven and serve.
Have it, croque monsieur. Hoe sal ons mense in Afrikaans sê?
Croque meneer.
Croque meneer. The keyword is Sasco. SMS that to 33728. Perfect snack, like I said, for this weekend going into that final France against Croatia. And of course, also celebrating Bastille Day.
Yes.
Hey, yes. France Sugar Festival taking place this weekend as well. Anel, bye-bye, donkey. Thank you so much. High fives all around. I want to dig in there, and I had to hold myself back, but we need a picture first for you on social media, all right? And then I will have my breakfast. Sasco to 33728.
Sasco, baking together since 1930.
Well, I don't know if that was an indicator of any sort, but the croque monsieur says to me, vive le bleu, they're going to come out victorious come Sunday's final. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we reflect on yesterday's presenter search on 3 semi-final of sorts, if you will, with the top 9. Lorena joins us to talk to us about her journey, of course, how she experienced it and how it all came to an end. I'm sorry.
You were loved, girl. You were loved, man. So please take that on board. And then she is sitting next to a superstar this morning.
Yes.
Oh, fresh off the Black Panther, set with, I think, a unique take on the film industry from a South African perspective. Of course, Connie Chume is in at the house. So good to have you here.
Since the outbreak of the hit track Wololo, Babes or Dumo has become a household name and helped to put a spotlight on gom music, with the most notable feature being in Marvel's blockbuster Black Panther. She will be joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on Monday, 16 July, from 6 to 9 a.m. to help you start your day just the right way. Only here on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back and happy Friday. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, live, large and in charge on this Friday morning. In case you don't know it yet, World Cup fever has gripped this entire studio and the whole world. We are all buzzing regarding the final coming up on Sunday. Leanne keeps screaming Croatia. I don't know which kind of football she's watching, but right now she's about to deliver the news headlines.
In the national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa's ambitious plan to attract $100 billion to kickstart the country's struggling economy received a major boost yesterday when Saudi Arabia committed to invest 133 billion rand in the country. Now, this is expected to be invested in the energy and power creation sectors. SA Express announced yesterday that the Civil Aviation Authority had reinstated its Aircraft Maintenance Organization certification. A statement said the certification was issued after the airline had undergone a stringent and rigorous process to meet the regulator's high standards. On the international front, parliamentarians in South Sudan voted yesterday to extend the mandate of President Salva Kiir's government for an extra 3 years. Elections were due to be held this year, but conflict had made the timetable impossible. And then finally, the British government has published its blueprint for relations with the European Union, with Prime Minister Theresa May saying it delivers on the Brexit that people voted for. The long-awaited white paper is aimed at ensuring trade cooperation with no hard border for Northern Ireland and global trade deals for the UK. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
So in football, after 62 matches, we are down to the business end of the Soccer World Cup as France face Croatia in the final on Sunday at 5. Catch every ball live on SABC1. Tomorrow, of course, that bronze medal playoff, England up against Belgium at 4. Then on to cricket, it's all falling apart for the Proteas, and they are currently sitting on 48 for 5 when we last checked in. But I expect by the time we get to 8, more wickets will have fallen, of course, now trailing. A massive, massive deficit there. Sri Lanka well in charge. Then on to rugby. The final round of the Super Rugby group stage takes place this weekend as the Sharks still have the slimmest of hopes as they take on the Jaguares, while the Bulls are up against the Lions in a local derby. And in tennis, a big one for South Africa, but on the women's draw, of course, Angelique Kerber and Serena Williams will battle it out for this year's Wimbledon title tomorrow as both players secured comfortable semi-final victories yesterday. We'll get into the men's draw on the top of the hour. Right now, let's get you a traffic update.
Well, let's quickly look at the roads in Gauteng in 4 ways. There's been an accident on the N1 northbound. It's before the William Nicol Drive, and it's causing heavy delays from Beyers Nudia Drive. I'll have a final update for you at 8 o'clock.
Quality fuel, convenience, and service with a smile. whether it's to fuel up or stock up. Caltex, it's how you get there.
Right, let's quickly take another look at your weather and your temperatures going into your Friday morning, and it looks like most parts of the country can expect some showers going into your Friday, and also some cool temperatures this morning, so please dress warmly. Let me run you through. Polokwane, 5 minimum, reaching a high of 21 degrees. Mandela, 9, 26. Pretoria, 7, 19. Johannesburg, 6 and a high of 17. Mahikeng, 9, 22. Klerksdorp on 8 minimum, reaching a high of 20. Kimberley, 3 and 19, with some rain expected. Bloemfontein, also a couple of showers, 4 minimum with a maximum of 20. Richards Bay, 15, 29. Pietermaritzburg, 12 and a high of 27. Durban starting off on 17 minimum. Your maximum, a nice and hot maximum, 27 at that. Mthatha, 8, 23 and rain expected. East London, 10, 17, also with some rain. Cradock can also expect rain going into your Friday with a minimum of 1, staying cool with a high of 13 degrees. Port Elizabeth, 9, 16. George, 8, 17. Sutherland, cold today, -2 and a maximum of only 6. Cape Town, 7, 14. Worcester, 4 and a high of 11. Springbok, 2 minimum and also a maximum of 11 degrees. And Uppington starting off on around 0 this morning, reaching a cool maximum of 16 degrees. And that's a wrap of your weather for the 7:30 bulletin. I'll bring you a final weather update just after 8.
Well, time right now for your weekly tech update. Now, I'm sure when you hear them, this week's stories will make you feel like you're living in some kind of sci-fi movie era, which I'm sure we're pretty much close to, but our tech expert, Dennis Jansen van Rensburg, joins us this morning. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you
Score
very much.
prediction, by the way, for the World Cup?
I'm hoping for a Croatian win. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm hoping.
Really? Scoreline?
Let's say France 2-1.
France 2-1. Okay, that's more where I'm siding to. But anyway, getting back to the tech news, Boston Dynamics, of course, came out and released that robot dog that everyone freaking out. Most of us freaking out. Some people very excited. But apparently, there's now a new pup, if you will, from MIT.
Right, so robotics is a very interesting field.
Yeah.
So not everybody thinks that robotics is a very useful field. Let's say that. There's a lot of things that need to happen for robotics to become truly useful in our modern world.
Yeah.
And these companies are displaying that with very realistic type prototype. So the MIT called this Cheetah, and it's basically modeled off of how a cheetah moves and how a cheetah runs. And it's very, very unique because unlike the Boston Dynamics robot, it doesn't have any eyes, so to speak. It doesn't have cameras to see where it's going.
So how then does it navigate its way around without any eyes?
Well, it does it all by touch. It's the first robot in the world that kind of navigates the world around it without seeing, without hearing, without any of those senses. It literally knows how to get around with touch. And look at that jump! Look at that jump!
Oh wow, that's a slow motion of a jump. Okay,
that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So this robot doesn't have cameras, and it essentially uses its feelers, the
sensors there
what touches the surface to know how to navigate the world around it and to balance, which is
I just wish
fantastic.
they'd find a friendlier design that would make you go, oh, instead of
Well,
that kind of vibe.
It's kind of difficult. It
is. Okay, maybe they need to revisit the design manual there. All right, let's talk about a new way that's now been found to turn water back into hydrogen and oxygen, and how this might play out, especially in terms of deep space exploration.
Right, so this is a new kind of avenue people are saying might lead us to exploring the stars.
Okay.
And, it's always been easy to turn water into oxygen and hydrogen. I mean, it's the parts within the molecule, but to do it with energy efficiency has always kind of been something very difficult. And we've had to spend a lot of fuel and energy to actually split those molecules. They found a new way to do that, and a lot of people are saying this might be a way for us to get to the stars. So it'll split water into hydrogen, which will be the fuel for the spacecraft, and then obviously the oxygen, which we need to breathe on a long journey throughout the stars. People are thinking that this might be the first step to us doing, those long space journeys.
Absolutely. Are we going to be able to use ocean water for that, do you think?
Well, getting the salt out is another process.
Yeah.
But Why not? I think we should.
Do you think it'll happen in our lifetime? Are we going to see this actually happening while we're still around?
So the technology exists. People are asking, are we going to go to the stars in our generation? The problem is, from here to Alpha Centauri, with the current technology, it'll take us about 80,000 years at the speeds we're going. So there's this duality of, can we get there? But secondly, if we go there now, in a couple of thousand years' time, we'll have better technology, and that's
so rather wait.
We'll pass it. Exactly.
Yeah, but is cryo freezing possible yet?
No, that's science fiction. We're not there yet. But it is theoretically possible, and people are thinking that's the way we're going to do it.
Yeah.
With the current technology, spending 80,000 years in space is probably not the best way to do it.
If you're frozen for 80,000 years, it'll feel like a day, and then you wake up and then you're now at Centauri. Duopolis. Thanks for joining us very much, man. Always appreciate your time and expertise. Let us know on social media which stories have captured your attention, perhaps blown your mind into deep space, and share them with us using hashtag Expresso Show.
Well, listen, we're about to take a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We have Ben Day and the Concrete Lions. They're joining us for another performance after the break.
And then we're going back to Wakanda, y'all, because Connie Chiume, who is from Black Panther fame, of course, joins us in studio, and we get to chat to her for the very first time in our Expresso studio. It's going to be amazing. She looks awesome. Yes.
Try the new McAfee Low GI sandwiches, cheese and tomato, chicken club, and cheese and tomato chicken roll. Enjoy a moment in between with McAfee.
One, two, yeah. Don't know when, but I wanna stop moving up. Water's flowing, so go now, fill your cup.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Do you like it?
Yeah, I was worried for a second.
That's a man who knows a World Cup final is coming. Thank you so much for all your predictions. Been awesome, but lest we forget, the rest of the world is moving on. There are other things happening. Dude, what's going on in the world of glitz and glam?
Let's check out television. The world of television is abuzz right now because the annual Emmy nominations have now been announced. And guess who's leading the charge? Bang, 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 bang. Yes. They were, of course, uneligible last year because I think they fell out of the time in which the nominations were submitted or something
Game of Thrones
like
exists outside of time and space.
Exactly. So they've got 22 nominations.
Wow.
Yeah, 22 nominations, Game of Thrones, and are being closely followed by The Handmaid's Tale, that has 20 nominations, and then close by also Westworld with 21. So congratulations to all those great TV shows. Also, Donald Glover's Atlanta is the top comedy show with 16 nominations. It'll face newcomers that include the marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Barry, starring Bill Hader, and Saturday Night Live also riding high with its relentless. What they've been doing with Donald Trump. I think it's been like the season of Trump.
Yeah.
That's all
what are the comedians going to do when his term ends?
21 nominations they got, and of course, as we said earlier on, very exciting news for Trevor Noah and the team of The Daily Show. They've received nominations for this year's Emmy Awards. So it airs on the 17th of September. Colin Jost and Michael Shea of Saturday Night Live, they'll be the hosts of the show. It's going to be hilarious. You can expect that. But good luck to everyone. But I think Game of Thrones is making a clean sweep of it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Have you watched any of the other shows?
I'm yet to watch the last season.
Shame
I'll
on
watch
you.
it before the next season
but it's
comes
worth
out.
staggering Game of Thrones. I think I'm going to have to watch it again just to get back into that. But
because we're not waiting until 2019, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
So I'm going to wait till closer to
I
the
divorce
time.
myself from any expectation when it comes to the show. That's the only way to survive Game of Thrones. But with the amount of money that they pump in, the quality of the production, I think they deserve it. And the acting is just phenomenal. So
absolutely,
we wait with bated breath.
Alrighty, well, we'll see those results when they come around, as I said, on the 17th of September. But that is your international entertainment news.
Well, earlier we spoke about the Winter Wonderland charity fashion show taking place tomorrow at the Kenilworth Racecourse in aid of the Heart of Hope Congenital Defect Support Group. Now, the red carpet will be seeing some A-list celebrities, and this will include veteran South African actress and Black Panther star Connie Chiume, alongside, of course, a producer, Ernest Napoleon, who is somewhere in our studio as well. But here she is, the lady of the hour. Connie, so good to have you in our studio this morning. Are you well?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm well.
This is amazing. You know, when I saw you in the movie Black Panther, that took the world by storm. I mean, we're talking about making $1 billion worldwide. What did it feel for you to be a part of such an iconic movie? It revolutionized the way we see movies in the world.
You know, I normally tell people that being in Black Panther, for me, it was like, you know, a dream that you don't want to wake up from. You just want to be in that dream. That's how amazing, you know, working with all those professionals, I mean, behind and in front of the camera. It was just such good chemistry. The first time I went on set and I met the cast, it was, you know, it felt like I was being reunited with my brothers and sisters that I have known all along. That's how good it was to work there.
But even when I watch the behind the scenes stuff, there just seemed to be such camaraderie and just, you know, brotherly love. What are your feelings on how it's taken the world by storm? Because this is the first movie of its kind with an all-black cast. It was amazing.
It only shows that, you know, when one is given an opportunity, you know, that's what happens. It has never been done before. It was the first time. And Black Panther actually addressed a whole lot of issues. It has addressed that race thing. It has addressed gender. It has addressed ageism. Because we even had a 96-year-old woman acting there as an elder, one of the elders. So, and it has revolutionized us, and it has, you know, reawakened the Africanness in us. When I say us, I mean all the people of the diaspora, you know, from Africa, Africans from Africa, from Europe, from the Caribbean, from the United States. It has brought us all back together, you know, to say we should go back and think exactly who we are and what is it that we can do. We shouldn't wait for people to do things for us, but we should also take the initiative to do things for ourselves.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
So the movie released in February, and naturally I know that you're very busy. What projects have you gotten involved in since then?
I've been doing workshops around the country. Well, I haven't done Western Cape, Gauteng, and KZN, because those are big, you know, provinces, and they normally have opportunities. So I've decided to take on the smaller provinces and do those provinces where opportunities are very much less. Like what you are seeing now is one of the workshops that I'm doing. And then I also had a small stint on Ring of Lies and Easy Money. So
busy.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
Thank you.
And of course, you are going to be taking part in the Winter Wonderland charity fashion show that's happening tomorrow, in aid of the Heart of Hope Congenital Defect Support Group. What does it mean to you to be able to represent at this kind of event?
You know, as people, we need to also support, you know, initiatives like this one. And I must give credit to CJ and his organization for putting up such an initiative to, you know, just to have empathy for people who are not lucky like us, people that are supposed to be healthy. Can you imagine a child who's, when they are born already, they have a defect on such a vital organ of the body. So it really touched my heart when I was approached to come and support it. So I've come here with all my heart, you know, to support it in whatever way I can. And more especially that this year it's also the centenary of our father, Utata Mandela. And we know how much he loved children. And he also has a children's hospital that was named after him. So this initiative here, the Winter Wonderland, you know, combined with the year of Tata, I think it's a great thing. And I would really like to encourage people to come and support so that we give people hope. We give the children hope. We give their parents hope because they're really going through a lot looking after those children. And we know how expensive medical, you know, expenses can be. So yes, for me, it's quite an honor to be here to support it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Connie. Well, we are so honored that you are here in our studio this morning. And thank you so much for sharing your talent, not only with us as your fellow South Africans, but with the rest of the world as well. Well, there you have it. The Winter Wonderland charity fashion show is happening tomorrow at the Kenilworth Racecourse. This is in aid of Heart of Hope Congenital Defect Support Group. And definitely go and check it out, go and donate, go and support, because we need to, like Tata Madiba, support our young ones because they have a very bright future ahead of them.
Now, if you caught last night's episode of Presenter Search on 3, you'll know that it hit very, very close to home. In fact, this very chair that I'm sitting in breathes an air of ominous nature to it. Of course, the top 9 of Presenter Search contestants had to take over the entire Expresso show last week Friday, running the news, the entertainment, even the Friday dance. And while everyone impressed, unfortunately, someone had to go home. And last night, it was the turn of Lorena Mashite, who joins us this morning. Oh, it's such a sad thing, but also such a happy thing because you had the experience. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm sitting on the very chair that determined, I think, your fate last week. But before we even talk about that, let's take me through the emotions and that you experienced personally during that elimination. It's never easy.
During the elimination itself, I think because I had messed up and I had that in my head, I had just kind of come to grips with it.
Yeah. Were you expecting it?
I was expecting it. I really was. So it didn't come as a shock. Obviously, I would have liked to stay. I would have liked to be surprised, but that didn't happen.
Fortunately, the judges were very encouraging with their comments.
Yes.
I mean, highlighting, of course, where there was fault, but also saying that you are worthy of the spotlight like any of the other top 9 contestants. So that must have been very encouraging.
Yes, definitely. I don't think I would have made it this far, especially this year with the tough contestants and how strong they are.
Absolutely.
I would not have made it this far if I wasn't good. So I know.
If we throw it back now to last week Friday, flash it back. What was the experience of hosting Expresso like for you?
It was amazing. Listen, like amazing. I didn't expect. Now I understand why they call it the feel-good breakfast show. I felt good, even though I even knew that I had messed up and I might be going home. I felt good afterward, you know? So, I would like for that to be my life, you know?
That's you.
You can call me back, guys.
Hey, listen, we got your number. We got your number. And in terms of the rest of the season that you've experienced on Presenter Search on 3, what have been some of your most memorable moments?
I think my most memorable moments actually were maybe moments that were not caught on camera.
Okay.
It was the crew, the behind the scenes. I mean, you know this. Everyone behind the camera.
Look at that. That's you.
It's amazing. And everyone is so encouraging, and I absolutely love that. I've learned so much, and I can use it going forward.
Absolutely.
From here.
And that's what I want to know. So where to from here? Because you're super talented, you're gorgeous, you're ready, camera ready. Where to from now? Is there a plan?
I think the plan right now is to establish what success means for me. Because if you had asked me what I wanted to do this year, I would have never, ever, ever seen myself here. So I think I need to dream bigger. That's the plan. So write down my goals and my dreams, dream bigger. And listen, I'll be back, guys.
What about those aspiring to be a Lorena one day and looking at you and saying, wow, we're so proud of that girl and what she's done. I would love to live up to her level one day. What would you say to them to encourage them?
I would say, first of all, don't try and be a Lorena necessarily. Rather, be yourself, and it will take you, because I think I am here because I was myself all the way through. I would say dream bigger.
Yeah.
That's literally what I would say, because I did not see myself being here. Dream a little switch it up a notch.
There we go. Well, thank you so much for sharing your talents with us, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff. And of course, remember that you can catch Presenter Search on 3 now, back to its original time slot next week, Thursday. That's at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3, with repeats on Saturdays at 12 p.m. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Since the outbreak of the hit track Wololo, Babes Wodumo has become a household name and helped to put a spotlight on gqom music, with the most notable feature being in Marvel's blockbuster Black Panther. She will be joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on Monday, 16 July, from 6 to 9 a.m. to help you start your day just the right way. Only here on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Don't know when, but I wanna start moving up. Water's flowing, so go now and fill your cup. I still see colors in the sky, so dream big. Hope the newborn sun will rise, that we can all just start again. That we can all just start again. That we can all just start again.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Yes, we certainly hope that you're feeling all of those feel-good vibes on this Friday morning. Ben Day and the Concrete Lions in the studio, about to share some more music. Here's a song called Life on Mars.
Don't know when, but I wanna start moving up. Water's flowing, so go now, fill your cup. I still see colors in the skies, we dream big and hope the newborn sun will rise. That we can all just start again. That we can all
the Concrete Lions, Life on Mars. Awesome music to kickstart our Friday morning, and I'm hoping that you are enjoying it too. Let us know on our Facebook and our Twitter profiles, of course, using hashtag Expresso Show. We'll have one more performance just before the end of the show. Thanks, guys. Awesome stuff.
In the national news this morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa's ambitious plan to attract $100 billion to kickstart the country's struggling economy received a major boost yesterday when Saudi Arabia committed to invest 133 billion rand in the country. This is expected to be invested in the energy and power creation sectors. Ramaphosa met with King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud in the port city of Jeddah yesterday. South Africa imports an estimated 47% of its oil from Saudi Arabia. Total trade amounted to more than 56 billion rand in 2017. Now, his tour will end today with a visit to the United Arab Emirates. SA Express announced yesterday that the South African Civil Aviation Authority had reinstated its Aircraft Maintenance Organisation certification. A statement said the certification was issued after the airline had undergone a stringent and rigorous process to meet the regulator's high standards. SA Express says its recently appointed board briefed the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, on the progress achieved since the airline was grounded. The airline said Gordhan expressed his satisfaction with progress to return the airline to full operation in the near future. Now moving further abroad, parliamentarians in South Sudan voted yesterday to extend the mandate of President Salva Kiir's government for an extra 3 years in a move that could complicate peace efforts. The law will allow Kiir to remain in power until 2021, even as he engaged in the latest round of regional peace negotiations with his former deputy turned rebel leader Riek Machar on ending the 4-year-old civil war. Elections were due to be held this year, but conflict has made the timetable impossible. And then finally, the British government has published its blueprint for relations with the European Union, with Theresa May saying that it delivers on the Brexit that people voted for. The long-awaited white paper is aimed at ensuring trade cooperation with no hard border for Northern Ireland and global trade deals for the UK. The UK is hoping the EU will back the proposals in the white paper so an exit deal can be struck by the autumn, ahead of the UK's official departure from the EU in March. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Let's wrap up our headlines. First up, in Russia, after 62 matches, we are now down to the business end of the 2018 edition of the Soccer World Cup as France face Croatia in our final on Sunday. While France will be pushing for their second win in 3 finals, Croatia will be making history as they take part in the World Cup final for the very first time. Sunday's final in Moscow kicks off at 5 o'clock. Catch every ball live on SABC1. And of course, tomorrow, the fourth playoff between England and Belgium that kicks off at 4 o'clock. Then on to cricket. Sadly, the Proteas imploding at the moment up against Sri Lanka. They're currently sitting on 63 for 6 when last we saw on. That's 224 runs behind. Clearly, they are battling with a very spin-friendly pitch against one of the best spin bowling outfits in the business. Dimuth Karunaratne, he was the top scorer for Sri Lanka, helping them post 287 before being bowled out, and 158 is where he ended the day. South Africa losing Aidan Markram early on, but it's, as we can see, it started a descent, hopefully not into a complete implosion there at the Gully International Stadium. Then, of course, on to rugby, a high-stakes weekend as the final round of Super Rugby group stage wraps up. And this weekend, we've got 3 South African teams in action. Now, despite sitting outside of the qualification places at the moment, the Sharks can still move into the knockout round, but they're going to have to beat the Jaguares tomorrow and hope that the Highlanders can do them a favour by convincingly beating the Rebels. Some other fixtures to look out for: the already qualified Lions, they'll take on the eliminated Bulls at Ellis Park in a local derby. Then massive hopes on South African tennis this weekend. First of all, though, on the ladies' draw, we've got Angelique Kerber and Serena Williams battling it out for this year's Wimbledon title tomorrow after both secured comfortable semi-final victories yesterday. Up first, 11th seed Kerber had no problems downing Yelena Ostapenko in straight sets, while Williams saw out a pretty easy 6-2, 6-4 win over Julia Jorges. Then, of course, in today's men's semi-final, it's South Africa's Kevin Anderson taking on another big server in John Isner, while tomorrow Novak Djokovic will go head-to-head with Rafa Nadal. And we're also sending all of our hopes and our prayers to Raven Klaas Larson and Michael Venus, the New Zealander, as they take on their American pairing of Brian and Sock in the finals of the Wimbledon's doubles. So a great South African connection to the grass court action this weekend, and that's where we leave our sport for now. We'll touch on some of the star players in this year's World Cup in just a moment.
Well, let's take a final look at the roads in Gauteng, Pretoria. There's protests now blocking the N14 highway at the R55. So please avoid this route entirely and make use of an alternative route. Then in the Western Cape, in Cape Town, there's a burst water main on Camps Bay Drive. That's at Fiskraal Road. And the road's currently having a stop-go system in place, so you can expect some delays. And that's where I leave your traffic on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
More than a club. More than an appliance brand. Defy.
Here is just after 8 o'clock. Let's quickly take a final look at your weather and your temperatures going into your Friday. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect actually some scattered showers and also cool temperatures kick-starting your Friday morning. So dress warmly. Then we run you through Polokwane starting off on 5 minimum, reaching a high of 21 degrees today. Mbombela 9 and 26, nice and warm. Pretoria 7, 19. Johannesburg 6 and a high of 17. Mahikeng on a 9 minimum with a maximum 22. Klerksdorp 8 and a high of 20. Kimberley 3 minimum this morning with a maximum 19 and some scattered showers expected. Bloemfontein 4 and a high of 20. Richards Bay 15, 29. Pietermaritzburg 12 and a high of 27. Durban 17, 27. Mthatha 8 minimum with a maximum 23 and some rain expected. Some rain for East London as well, 10 minimum, your maximum 17. Cradock 1, 13 and Port Elizabeth starting off on 9 minimum with a maximum 16 degrees and also some rain expected. George 8 and a high of 17. Sutherland cold today, -2 and a high of 6 degrees. Cape Town 7, 14 and some scattered showers expected. Worcester 4, 11 and some rain as well. Springbok 2, 11 and Uppington around 0 with a maximum of 16 degrees. And that's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for your Friday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Every day, people celebrate birthdays all around the world. So as we welcome today, the 13th of July, can you believe it? We're going to take a moment just to wish some really special people a happy birthday.
Yeah, you most of all, wherever you find yourself. But let's start with some of those famous faces that you might know. This one you better know. In fact, Harrison Ford celebrates his birthday today. He is an iconic actor, and in all of his interviews, just looks like the coolest, most humble, down-to-earth guy. But of course, we knew him first, and we've rediscovered him again as Han Solo from Star Wars, but he's Indiana Jones, Rick Deckard in the sci-fi classic Blade Runner. So he's almost been a part of a movie revival that we've seen in Hollywood, but he's awesome.
And also a fugitive from the war.
Yeah, the fugitive, yeah.
Such an awesome role. Also, we want to wish a very happy birthday to multiple award-winning actor, Sir Patrick Stewart. I mean, what has this man not done? But I think he's best and most well-known as his role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard
100%.
in Star Trek The Next Generation, and of course, Professor X in the X-Men.
And I loved his performance as Professor X and Logan. That was like dark and it was awesome. But then, of course, forget the celebs. It's all about the really important people this morning. You, our viewers, happy birthday, first of all, to Michael and Julian, twin brothers. They celebrate their 53rd birthday today. We love you guys. Happy birthday. I hope you're being spoiled. Likewise, Adele, whose daughter assured us she never misses a show, and she also celebrates her birthday. She's probably watching Expresso from inside. Aww. And then Stefan Verwey. Stefan, I hope you're having the most awesome day. You're going to grow up to become an absolute superstar.
And look at Smizing over here. Reza Hanif, hello.
Smizing, what did you smizing?
Hey, he's just doing the things with his eyes.
Smizing through his eyes. Oh, Nunu Pants.
Aiden Dupree, happy birthday. Absolutely amazing. Aiden
cute,
turns 3, and then AJ Lee Beckett turns a whole 1 year old.
What's
you
with
guys?
the cuteness this morning, guys? You got to
So
warn
cute.
us if you're going to go to cuteness level 15,
Oh,
man.
wow, that is absolutely amazing. Happy birthday to you. If we have not had a chance to wish you on the show, but you know that we're with you celebrating. Keep some cake for us, send it to us, and have an amazing day. We'll return with our happy birthdays a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah, sending you so much love if it is your birthday. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our World Cup inspired Feel Good Breakfast show, talking about the best players at the FIFA World Cup this year.
Certainly, World Cup fever. And then we'll also take a look at the negative effects of living an inactive lifestyle. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after the break.
Oh,
Wrap up the week in style with Afternoon Express, live at 4:30 on SABC3. Coming up today, we sit down with SAFTA award-winning actress Motsabi Jalele. She's best remembered for her role as Tando in the classic SABC sitcom Suburban Bliss. Plus, we meet internationally renowned contemporary artist Azil Langa, who creates unique art pieces using candle smoke on paper. That's Afternoon Express, weekdays at 4:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Feel it? We had a trance party of football. Feel it. Philip is in the building. I love it. Game on. So I'm gonna say that there's already a yellow card there, Ash, and you can use them at any time, okay? Because we're gonna talk players now. And we're not just honing in. We've spoken a lot about the players that are going to come into play, but it's an opportunity now to do a bit of a kind of a recap of who has shone and who we thought was going to shine and possibly didn't. But there have been some magical moments, and there have been some star players that might not have got their due. So we've kind of put together a bit of a list here. You've thrown together some players' names who really interested you, have done some special things. And one is very important as we move into the final between France and Croatia. Luka Modric, their captain fantastic. And by the sounds of it, well loved in that team, and they play for him.
He's just such a fantastic organizer, you know. He drives that team, gets him going. His movement on the ball and off the ball is what sets him apart, you know.
Superstars have etched their name in history after this final. You, of course, went with France with a rather conservative score prediction. I went with Croatia. We'd love to hear from you. Keep the conversation going over social media. We'll pick it up on Monday, but I'm going to do it because I have to, and I'm going to soon have this taken away from me. It's game on for our World Cup final. Awesome stuff. Now, of course, on the other end of that spectrum, we know that living the sedentary lifestyle, they're discovering more and more, is having such a detrimental effect on our health. So we're going to tackle that right now in our health chat.
Now, during winter, we all tend to get a little lazy, but one of the worst things you can do to your body is doing nothing at all. Living a sedentary lifestyle can take a toll on both your physicality and your mentality, and if you combine this with a bad diet, well, then you're looking at a lot of trouble. So changing bad eating habits is far easier than we all think, and it can be as simple as including jungle oat bran into your diet. It's versatile and can be included in many different meals, and because it's high in soluble fiber, which can assist in reducing blood cholesterol levels, it's absolutely great for you. Back in studio to give us more nutrition advice and to chat about the dangers of not being active is our favorite registered dietitian, Lauren Moore. Welcome back. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Lauren, when we talk about a sedentary lifestyle, firstly, what is that? How is it defined, and why is it unhealthy to live that kind of lifestyle?
So a sedentary lifestyle is basically not moving enough. So sitting for several hours during the day and not exercising regularly. And the problem with this is that a lot of research has shown that sitting is the new smoking. So what this basically means is that if you are a sedentary person and you don't exercise a lot, you have as high a risk of developing certain diseases as if you smoked.
Yeah.
So that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
A lot of us feel like, oh, we don't smoke, so our risks are much reduced. But actually, a sedentary lifestyle can increase your risk of certain types of cancers. Obviously, obesity, because we're not burning as many calories. Increased risk of type 2 diabetes, and even things like depression. So
Wow.
it really is something to take note of.
And a lot of people out there are doubling out on the risk factors in that they're not only sedentary, but they also smoke as well.
Absolutely, and like you said, poor diets and all those other risk factors compound as
All
well.
right. So the problem here is not moving enough. You talked about sitting on the couch or maybe lying on the bed for more than 8 hours a day. So when we talk about exercise, some people do take it to extremes and they exercise for 15 hours a day. That's what their life consists of. But what is an optimum level of exercise for the average person every day?
So I think for the average person, the World Health Organization says that we should be exercising for at least 150 minutes a week.
Okay.
So that's a good place to start, is that sort of goal. 150 minutes a week. You can break it up into as many bouts of exercise as you want, but a bout of exercise should be at least 10 minutes. If you're trying to lose weight, you would aim for about 210 minutes a week as your ultimate goal for exercise. And 2 or 3 of those sessions should be a bit of resistance exercise. So you want to get that weight-bearing exercise in conjunction with your cardiovascular exercise.
So 10 minutes a day sounds very doable. But give us some tips on how you can then start on that. Get off your couch and get moving for at least those 10 to 15 minutes a day.
I think the most important thing to think about is that you need to get your priorities straight. So don't feel like it has to be a 10-kilometer run or there's no point in it. You have to understand that there's a cumulative effect of lots of small things that you can do. So for example, if you take the stairs instead of the lift at work, you go walk your dog around the block every day, those small little things can make a huge difference. I think one of the best ideas to try and implement is to get a friend, like an exercise buddy, who can help you with exercise and you can motivate each other. And also look for arranged events in your neighborhood. So look for your closest park run, see if there's a boot camp in your neighborhood that you can join, and also look for things that you can do at home. A lot of people feel like exercise has to be done at the gym, and gym can be quite intimidating and time consuming. Skipping at home, fantastic cardiovascular exercise. Lunges, push-ups, squats, planking, all that type of resistance exercise is also very good for you. So there's a lot of options for things you can do at home.
Yeah, and obviously also quite a lot of fun when you involve the family in it.
Absolutely.
So if you've got the kids that can offer that resistance while you're doing the push-ups or, help out and actually maybe get them into that active lifestyle as well. And then lastly, of course, your diet is probably as important, if not even more important than your exercise. So tell me about the right kind of foods to get into your body pre and post workout to help you not only in the performance during those workouts or those exercises, and then also in the recovery.
I think it depends on the type and intensity of the exercise regarding what you should and shouldn't be eating. Obviously, those people who are exercising 15 hours a day, they would have quite rigid diets, very high protein. But for the lay person who's just doing that 150 minutes a week, I think the most important thing to look out for is big gaps before you exercise and after you exercise between your meals. So for example, if you're eating your lunch at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and you're only going to exercise at 5 o'clock, you don't really want to exercise on a very empty stomach because your blood sugar could drop.
Yes.
So you would want to get a snack in maybe an hour before you exercise. And again, once you finish your exercise, if there's going to be a 4 or 5 hour gap until supper, you would want to have a snack there so you don't have that drop. So easy snacks that you can think about. Ideally, you want a high fiber carbohydrate, so something like a slice of whole wheat toast or a fruit, and you want to combine that with a protein or a healthy fat, a boiled egg, a handful of nuts, avo, chicken, tuna, anything like that. And
Yeah.
that as a starting point is a good way to see if you do need a snack before or after your exercise.
Yeah, and it's about getting the good nutrition in and not necessarily eating those empty calories, right? Because that's also a dangerous pitfall that people fall into.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lauren, thank you very much for your time and your expertise. We always do appreciate it. And you've heard it here. Taking small steps towards a healthier you is far easier than you think. And we hope that you're inspired to get out there, to get active, and to eat food that will give you that boost that you need to keep going.
South Africa's original oat champion now has a range of nutritious, delicious muesli. New Jungle Muesli, available in an exciting variety of flavors.
Now, award-winning chef and restaurant owner Chris Erasmus, he joins us in the studio as we get to talk about this weekend's Franschhoek Bastille Festival taking place.
And then we have to head to the kitchen because we're making a pickled wild mushroom and brioche toast. It's already watering my mouth, so let's take a quick break so we can come back and make that delicious recipe.
Since the outbreak of the hit track Wololo, Babes or Do More has become a household name and helped to put a spotlight on gom music, with the most notable feature being in Marvel's blockbuster Black Panther. She will be joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on Monday, 16 July, from 6 to 9 a.m. to help you start your day just the right way. Only here on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Friday morning. Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And now, of course, it's almost time for this year's Franschhoek Bastille Festival. And once again, it promises to be a social calendar highlight. Now, the quaint town of Franschhoek celebrates its French heritage with flair and excitement this weekend. And joining us, we have award-winning chef and owner of Foliage Restaurant, Chris Erasmus, in the studio to chat about this much-loved and celebrated festival. Great to have you back with us.
It's lovely to be back.
It feels like it's been a while. And during the break, we were chatting football, because I didn't know that you were such a footy fan.
I love football. I love football.
So with the final coming up on Sunday, where does your heart lie? What is your score prediction?
Sure, I would say, if I think about it, I think France 2-1. But I'm rooting full out for Croatia.
Yeah,
it's you know what, their heart's in it, and if you see a team coming up and you never I want it to be unpredictable.
Yeah, and I think it certainly will be.
But for the Bastille Festival, let's go for it.
Absolutely, because that is what we're here to talk about, and I'm sure on Sunday it's going to be absolutely lit in Franschhoek. Why is there always such hype around the Bastille Festival? Because it's almost not just the entire Cape Town, but half of the country floats down to Franschhoek to drink champagne.
I think as soon as you leave Cape Town and you hit that valley, the only thing on your mind is food and wine.
Yeah.
So, we're celebrating the French coming in and doing things properly, setting up vineyards. The first French Huguenots made sure that we got some seriously competitive wines in South Africa. And I'm not talking just about the Franschhoek Valley, but, that's why we live there. I live in Franschhoek, not because I want to go play tennis. I live there because I love eating and I love drinking. So that's the whole hype behind it. It's the whole town comes together as a small community. The wine farmers, the restaurateurs, the chefs, all of us come together and we just throw
a massive
party.
And it is a community feel that you get when you're there, because there's stuff for the whole family, mom, dads, granddads, kids, everything. What can we expect from this year's festival?
Saturday's going to be sort of the younger crowd, and that's where the music's a little louder. We've got a very cool band. We've got a local band as well, which are doing both days. But on the Saturday, it's more the younger crowd. Music's sort of a bit more rock and roll. And then on the Sunday, we've got lots of kiddies activities. You can book your child in. And they are childminders. There are games for them, all sorts for all different ages. So the young ones can play, the older ones, there's PlayStations set up. So, and you get an SMS if your child wants to leave. So your kids are being looked after.
That's brilliant.
So mom and dad can have, and there's adult games as well. So big Jenga, giant Jenga, there's knots and crosses. There's barrel rolling on the Saturday just after 10 in the main road, which is going to be very, very cool. There's lots of fun games. But the Sunday is specifically for children.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, I don't think there's any activities for the children really planned. But on a Sunday, your kids will be looked after.
So you can plan your weekend that way. But of course, the food is always such a big highlight because it's all French cuisine inspired. What dishes can people look forward to?
This year's quite exciting. The chefs all came together about 2 months ago, and we started discussing among ourselves so we don't repeat things. And so the universal feel this year is going to be very French. So each chef will give his South African twist or his modern twist on a French dish.
Okay.
Expect not too rich. So we are doing it a little healthier, but expect a lot of old French classics coming through.
Excellent. And what about you? What's your favorite part of the festival? I mean, if I'm going to Bastille to the festival and I want to hang out where you hang out and do the things that you do, what are some of your favorites?
Well, I'll be working all weekend, but I mean, afterwards, the fun part for me is just to see the whole town come alive. And it's sort of after the festival when everybody just walks through town and it's still that party sort of atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love the whole festival, man.
And I'm sure it carries on long into the late hours of the night. Thanks for joining us, Chris, and can't wait to be with you in the kitchen to cook up a delicious dish. Now, because we love you so much and we love spoiling you at Expresso, we have a great giveaway. Now, if you'd like to stand a chance of winning 2 tickets to the Franschhoek Bastille Festival, then, of course, this is for this Sunday, the 15th of July. All you need to do is SMS the keyword dish, followed by your name and surname to 33728. And you have, let's see, half an hour. The competition closes at 9 a.m. T's and C's apply. So get SMSing now. Dish your name and surname to 33728.
Well, we are about to give you a little breather from all of the World Cup action with some great movies that's on the lineup on SABC3 this weekend.
This one could be a World Cup title, Fatal Memories. I love this. This one coming to you tonight, a late night movie with a nice thriller angle. It's coming out at 9:30. Fatal Memories is a compelling thriller about a woman named April who is the lead suspect for the murder of her mother. But April has no recollection of the incident due to memory loss caused by the trauma. Incredible. Her sister Sutton is determined to help April remember so that they can catch the real killer, if there is another real killer. With a thriller like this, you just don't know. Take a look.
When you walk into a room, you know when something's wrong. Something doesn't feel right. And your worst fears are met. Because the unthinkable just happened.
Murder of her mother, Professor Marjorie.
Okay, I'm coming for you. April didn't do this. She couldn't. She could not have done this.
Which poses a question. Is evil born or made?
I need April to remember the night of the murder.
Close your eyes, take a deep breath, relax.
April! No! No!
Take your time.
Fatal Memories, Friday at 10 on 3. The stage is yours.
Fatal memories. You've got to say it like that.
Fatal memories. Well, if fatal memories is a bit too much for you, don't worry. We've got a rom-com lined up on Saturday evening. It's called While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman, and it is a great one. It follows the character Lucy, who's played by Sandra Bullock, who's a hopeless romantic. And, you know, she's a ticket collector that's secretly in love with a handsome stranger that passes her by every single day and hasn't even said hello. And after saving him from being hit by a speeding train, she's mistaken for his fiancée by his family, but check it out.
Sometimes when accidents happen,
Somebody help me, please! There's a train coming and it's fast! It's an express!
it's easier to fall in love.
Are you family?
No.
Family? Oh,
No, you don't
Guys, what do we got?
Oh, I was gonna marry him.
Is that the woman that saved his life?
Yeah, she's his fiancée.
Where the is he?
Dad, don't embarrass me.
What's going on? He's in a coma.
On Christmas Day. How did this happen? Was pushed from the platform at the train station.
Who's she?
She's his fiancée. His fiancée? Yeah. He's just engaged. I always wanted him to find a nice girl. I'm so glad he found you.
While You Were Sleeping, Saturday at 7 on 3. The stage is yours.
Yes for a rom-com, and
Yeah,
yes for
rom-com
any
for days,
Sandra
yo.
Bullock movie and trains.
Oh, that'll soften you up nicely for the World Cup final coming on Sunday at 5 o'clock. But thank you so much to our all-star team at 3. We got you sorted when it comes to movies.
Well, we're back again with award-winning chef and owner of Foliage Restaurant, Chris Erasmus, joining us in the kitchen. And if you're supporting the French team this World Cup final, then you may want to get into the spirit of all things French. And that's why Chris is here sharing some French-inspired recipes with us. And just in case, of course, just in time also for the Franschhoek Bastille Festival that's happening this weekend. We're giving away tickets. You know how to get around to entering that competition. But let's get into it, Chris.
Right, so in the spirit of foliage, we're going to do this wild. So I went to the forest. I got some pine rings.
You literally went to the forest. You do this for 2 hours every day.
At least, yeah. You know, during winter time, it's mushroom time, so we actually spend more than that in the forest.
Goodness, okay.
So this one is a brioche. We're going to be very French today, but we used the pine rings, which is a wild mushroom that grows under the pine trees. Yes. And we dried some out, made a powder, and made a brioche.
Okay.
So I'm going to toast this. You don't need to add any butter on. There's so much butter in this bread that you don't need to.
I can actually hear it
add
sizzling
anything
a
into
little
the
bit.
pan. So we're going to let that cruise to toast up nicely.
Can we just quickly look at your knife quickly? I've never seen such a pristine looking knife in my life. What on earth?
It's a Spanish meat knife, this one, but I just love
Just go at it with anything. Okay, so you're going at it with the mushroom?
So with this, I'm going to chop up some of these pine rings. This is the saffron mulcat, which is also Lactarius delicious. It's family of the pine ring. Now, I want to pickle these. Over here, we've got a homemade hannepoot. It comes from Malmesbury. Okay. One of my chef's dad made it, very much moonshine style. And then this, as you can see, there's a SCOBY in this. We make our own vinegars. This has got a long list of wild ingredients, wild mustard.
That looks like something out of my grade 10 biology class. I'm just,
Pretty much. There'll be embryos in there soon if you leave this thing long enough. So. And then we made marula beer, pineapple beer, and apple cider, turned that into sort of a bit more alcoholic, let it sit a bit longer, and then add the SCOBY, turn it into vinegar.
May I smell it?
Of course. You can stick your finger in there and taste it. You can see I've got some pickled mushrooms here already. I'm going to add some olive oil to this pan. Now the mushrooms goes quick. You're going to get this into the pan.
Okay, there we go.
Into the pan. Add a little bit of seasoning to that.
By the way, SMS the keyword dish to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe and the ingredients as well, but also enter you into that competition to win yourselves tickets to the Franschhoek Bastille Festival this weekend. That's the Sunday edition. Make sure that you send in that SMS. Yeah. Did you leave that for too long in there?
Yeah, it's okay. I like them charred. Everybody does. Let's keep it at that.
All right.
Right, so for the mushrooms, I'm sauteing that a little bit. I'm firstly going to add a little bit of the sweet wine. Cook that out completely.
Please tell us you're going to give us a bit of French flambe. Flambe.
Well, we need a flame for that. Do you have a lighter?
Anybody with a flame? Anybody? No?
Add a little bit of the vinegar. So we're going to leave that just to reduce down and pickle.
Wow.
Okay.
It smells great in here, might I say.
Let's taste this.
Okay.
Let's use this one as a taster. We didn't burn it at all.
Cheers.
Okay. So you can pick up, there's a nice little earthiness to it from the pine rings. Now, I've got some stinging nettle that I picked in the forest as well. Yeah. So stinging nettle adds a very nice meaty element to anything vegetarian.
Okay.
So we're going to chop some of these up. It's got a nice sting to it, but if you cook it, you lose that sting. I quite like it.
There's a
Like spicy
question
food.
swirling around my mind. How many plants and did you have to eat in forests in order to find out what is edible and not? Because I feel like you've had a lot of
It's more like how many
stomach
times I've been
infections.
sick from it.
I was about to ask that.
Right, so we're pretty much ready here. This is a porcini vinaigrette. Wild porcinis, cooked out. We add a little bit of the vinegar to it, cook it out completely until it's thick, and blend it up with some olive oil. So it makes a nice little puree.
Oh,
so we're going to put that on the plate.
And listen, if French-style cooking is your thing and you'd love to be part of the Franschhoek Bastille Festival happening this weekend, SMS the keyword dish to 33728. That'll also get you the ingredients list for this recipe that Chris is making. The event details are on your screen right now. That looks great.
We've got some pine rings on there.
Wow.
We've got our stinging nettle. We're going to put a little bit more of this porcini vinaigrette on there, just because we can. Get it all fancy.
You make it look so easy.
And then this is wood sorrel. So wood sorrel oxalis. It's got a beautiful, nice, acidic ting to it. Now we dried out some buchu, and we're going to put a little bit of a buchu.
Look at you, buchu bay.
On it. And voila! There we go.
Voila! C'est superbe. I mean, it would take me longer to make an omelette than you make.
En brioche.
Champignon en brioche.
Oui.
Brilliant stuff. There it is. Try it out at home if you are that adventurous. In the meantime, you can also SMS the keyword dish to 33728, and that'll get you entered into the competition so that you stand a chance to win those tickets to the Franschhoek Bastille Festival this coming weekend. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Chris, well done, dude. That was wow. Stinging nettle.
Yummy.
Stinging nettle in a recipe. Have
you ever used that?
No, I have never, but it
Wow.
seems very interesting. Listen, more delicious recipes heading your way. We're making a curried lamb and mashed potato dish just after the break with Tash Galema.
Exactly, and it's another opportunity for us to dip a Oma. All that more coming up after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show live, large and in charge on this Friday morning. And we're about to have that moment in the morning where we hashtag Dipper Oma. And Larina has volunteered her services to Dipper Oma. Firstly, are you a big fan of rusks and coffee in the morning during winter?
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah?
Major.
Your favorite flavor?
Is it buttermilk?
Ah,
yes, that's what it's called.
Yes, I like mine with a bit of muesli raisins there, just to make sure I get it all in the morning.
Yeah, you know?
What I mean? Okay, so you are going to show us your unique individual dip, and then you're going to give it a name.
Okay, cool.
Are you ready to do this in front of the whole nation?
Are you ready?
I am ready. Larina, don't excite me like that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, so do I just go?
You just go and show us this dip as dramatic as you like.
You know, you're putting pressure on me.
Live TV,
Okay,
baby.
how about...
Oh! so you roll it, you dab it, and then you dip it.
Yes, and it's called the final dip.
The final dip. I feel like you need a song with that.
You know, because the final, yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly how you do it. And of course, remember that you can link up with us on social media and tell us how you hashtag Dipper Oma, and also who you would love to cozy up with this winter. Make sure that you go onto our Facebook page. That's Expresso Morning Show SABC3, and you could win yourself an amazing Oma Rusk hamper. Thank you very, very much for being here with us. That competition that I just told you about, by the way, closes next week, Thursdays, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Show me again. Show me again.
Oh, do I show you again?
So you, I'm going to try and do it with you. I'm going to mirror you. So you're going to roll it, dab, dip. It's too good. It's too cool. Too cool.
Cozy up this winter and Dipper Oma. How do you Dipper Oma?
All right, time to whip up another exciting, delicious recipe just ahead of the weekend. We're making some lamb and mashed potatoes. Stick around.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Man, it's all about those winter warmers this morning, and we're using a delicious and kind of age-old product that we also love in our South African homes, some Clover Amasi this morning to go with our lamb and mashed potatoes. Curried lamb at that as well. Chef Tash, welcome, my love.
Hello.
You'll be panicking running in here, eh? You made it. Listen.
On time,
quick and easy recipe, great for the weekend. It's chilly out there, definitely something that's going to warm you up.
Yes, we are going to use amasi today to tenderize our lamb. So we are going to just dip it in there. It's ideal that you leave this mixture in for 6 hours to overnight.
At least, yeah. So do it now, and then tomorrow, this is what you're going to be making for dinner.
Definitely. So what the amasi does is it softens up the lamb because it breaks down the protein of the lamb.
That's the one. And I'm becoming a big fan of marinating meats in the amasi, because we made chicken livers the other day on the show. I don't eat chicken livers, but it was so good. It gave it such a nice tender kind of consistency. All right.
Definitely. We've got our pot hot on the stove here. And we are just going to quickly brown our onion.
All right.
And then we've got some turmeric, we've got some curry powder, some stock, and some flour that we are going to put in the pot. So the reason for the flour is to thicken our stock and to thicken the mixture. We are just going to brown that quickly. Put our turmeric.
There we go.
That's going to give it a beautiful golden color.
Yes, that yellow that we want is going to go beautiful with the lamb as well. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728 if you want to get your hands on the recipe. That's Clover to 33728. And make a delicious dish this weekend. No shortage of the beautiful recipes this morning. If you want to get your hands on any of those recipes, expressoshow.com. That's our website. Everything will be there for you a little bit later on today. So, flour.
Yes, we are going to sprinkle our flour. Make sure that you sprinkle it nicely and evenly so that it doesn't create the lumps.
The lumps, all right.
Yes, and then we stir that in quickly.
Cool. So while you're busy stirring that in, are you looking forward to the World Cup final? Have you been following, first and foremost?
I have been following. I thought England was going to go through. It was such a gripper.
Absolutely. Shame, all of that. It's coming home. Meanwhile, the team was coming home, yes.
Actually, I think sport this year is very different. Our own South African tennis player is through.
Yes, and Kevin Anderson, man.
Yes, Kevin Anderson is doing wonders. He's
Look
in
at
the
you
final.
with your sports knowledge. Right. So, final prediction quickly. France or Croatia? Which way is going to go?
It's unpredictable, but I think Croatia has got something in there.
Vive la France! Just saying. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the recipe. So you got the stock going in there now. You've got some vinegar on this side as well.
Yes.
Is that going in there as well?
That is going in there. We've put in chutney, so the vinegar is going to offset the sweetness of the chutney. It's going to create a nice balance.
All right.
So our lamb is supposed to have marinated for 6 hours.
We're just fast forwarding this process.
Salt and pepper.
Okay, so you pop that in just piece by piece, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then obviously you need to slow kind of cook this.
Slow cook it. Simmer it for over an hour. well, an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the pieces of your lamb, obviously.
Yes.
And the meat has to fall off the bone.
That's
but
right.
what we've done with this lamb is that we've taken off the bone, so we don't need to worry about that. It's going to be very nice and succulent.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, while you get that in there, the keyword once again is Clover. SMZatu 33728. You want to get your hands on this beautiful lamb curry recipe that we're serving with mashed potatoes. But here are the steps one more time.
Yes.
This Clover Amasi lamb and mashed potato recipe delivers a whole lot of comforting winter flavors. The secret to this delicious dish is marinating your meat in Clover Amasi to ensure the most tender results for a true taste of home. For this recipe, you will need 1 kilogram of stewing lamb, 1 litre of beef stock, 1 chopped onion, 2 tablespoons of curry powder, 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 tablespoon of chutney, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 4 potatoes peeled and chopped, 2 cups Clover Amasi, and salt and pepper. Pour your Clover Amasi over the lamb. Stir to combine. Allow to marinate for 6 hours or overnight. Add oil to a pot. Add chopped onions. Saute for 5 to 7 minutes. Add curry powder, turmeric, and flour. Saute for 2 minutes. Add chutney and vinegar. Then return the Amasi lamb to the pot. Stir to combine. Add beef stock. Mix well and allow to simmer for 1.5 to 2 hours. Cook and drain the potatoes. Next, add Clover Amasi and salt and pepper. Mash until smooth. To serve, mound a serving of mashed potato onto the center of a dinner plate. Top with your warming and delicious Clover Amasi lamb and get ready to impress your guests.
Made with love by Clover.
And look at that deliciousness on a plate, ready for the weekend. The keyword is Clover, SMZatu 33728. So, Chef Tash, thank you very much. Just quickly run us through the mash part. So we got the lamb curry now.
Yes, we've got the lamb curry, nice and succulent. You can see some, the gravy on there, which is curried. Our mash, you know how we normally put sour cream in our mash to make it nice and tangy and soft. We've put in amasi, our Clover Amasi, and then it creates that creaminess in our mashed potato.
Such a versatile product. I love it.
Very, very versatile.
Chef Tash, thank you very much. Go and enjoy this dish. I'm sure you're going to be making it as well for that World Cup final, which France is going to be winning. I'm just saying.
Croatia is going to be winning.
The keyword is Clover. SMZatu 33728. Have a lovely weekend.
You too.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Well, we've had 2 fantastic performances from Ben Day and the Concrete Lions. They join us for a final performance after the break.
Since the outbreak of the hit track Wololo, Babes or Do More has become a household name and helped to put a spotlight on gom music, with the most notable feature being in Marvel's blockbuster Black Panther. She will be joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on Monday, 16 July, from 6 to 9 a.m. to help you start your day just the right way. Only here on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Yeah. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy Friday and welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3 as we close down the week with Ben Day and the Concrete Lions. And you can catch them performing live where? I'm sure people want to.
We're playing today at Cafe Rue in Cape Town.
Yeah. And in as far as social media is concerned, where people can keep up to date with exactly where you are for the rest of the year, the stuff that you're collaborating with other artists on and all the works, where do they follow you?
You can find us on Facebook, Ben Day and the Concrete Lions.
Yeah.
And we're on Instagram, Twitter as well.
All right, fantastic stuff. So the last song you're performing for us is, and what is it inspired by?
It's called Up in Flames.
Up in Flames.
Yeah.
And did something go up in flames that inspired it?
I'm not too sure. It's for the audience to figure out. I don't know. This song just came to me one day, and it's here now. So,
Can't wait to hear it. The stage is all yours.
Thank
Take
you
it away,
so much,
guys.
man.
See
Concrete Lions, yeah, catch them performing at Cafe Rue. Listen, it's going to be an action-packed weekend. If you haven't made plans yet, tomorrow, 12 p.m, catch the repeat episode of Presenter Search on 3, featuring the lovely Lorena. Of course, the final of the World Cup coming up on Sunday. We've got Babes Wadumo coming onto the show next week, which is amazing. Monday.
You know she's singing the national anthem of Wakanda?
Wololo.
Yeah.
And by the way, we were doing score predictions just now, and Leanne is so confident that she's willing to put her money where her mouth is. How much for Croatia? I'm going France.
I feel like we need to do a different deal.
How much?
I say
France. I can do 500, yes.
Okay.
500.
It's on.
British Croatia.
Pay me. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Give me my money now.
Made with Love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.